Okay, listen. Listen. We can explain, okay? I actually waited because I 100% knew that there was going to be a massive change. So here we are. Sorry about that. I literally just woke up. I went shit. I slept through the fucking alarm I set. Was the dream good at least? There was no dream. There was no dream at all. Let's just grab all this. Oh, this is still up for 3 hours. Okay. Let's do all this here. Alright, so they just did something actually pretty big, like 10 minutes ago, which we'll talk about. So yeah, we'll see. Just get all this out of the way. Where are we? Daily challenges. I just hit one twice. Nice. 3 times in the day. You gotta love to see it. Okay, we at least had a stability. I don't care about the pot. I mean about the summon. Oh, okay, nice. We get this as well. Get a rev orb. One, two, three, four, five, six. I fucked up. I don't worry about it. I don't care. How long do we have left? Another day? Okay. I can't count. That's my punishment. So let's take a look at this because there was a massive change. Let's get quickly grab this and get it up here. These. Huh? Well, that's not what was expected at all. All right. Let's take a look at this. So they just made a huge announcement, which was oh, why is it messing up? that gonna work? All right, there we go. So there was a big patch note. No, it's not that one. It's this. So let's take a look at this, because this one can hold and replace Viper and Aurora. Yeah, but Viper is just better. So this was a massive thing that happened here, which is they decided to go through, and I'll probably zoom in here just so it's a little bit easier to read. Dear Hyperlinkers, after the previous optimizations and adjustments, we've continued to listen to players' feedback and observe in-game data performance. Based on the current gaming experience and difficult balancing, we decided to promptly initiate a new round of adjustments. We hope all Hyperlinkers will keep sharing their valuable suggestions with us. We're committed to listening carefully to everyone's voices and working together to build a more exciting world of Etheria. Now, what does this actually entail? Simply put it, today at some point there's going to be a patch update, and they can directly enjoy these new adjusted updates. There will be 100 free gems, and they decided to do one. The Grim Pursuit Inferno level boss from Nico Nana was nerfed again. It was nerfed by another 15% HP, 20% attack, and 10% speed. So she's literally baby mode now. She's actually just straight up baby mode. That is wild. Secondly, Shadowflame Hoyan is now being nerfed. This is just Inferno, by the way, by 15% HP, 10% attack, and the monsters, so these are the ads that do the counterattack, has also been nerfed by 15%. So this should make her quicker to kill. We'll have to see, because that wasn't enough for Nico Nana, apparently, that they came back and they did it again. But I guess they're assuming that, oh, let's let them farm the first one again so they can kind of get their foot in the entry door, farm up there, so this way they can unlock their 6-piece set, and then we don't need to doubly nerf these. So there's that. Also, Doki Doki Inferno, all monsters are now having their HP reduced by 10%. And the Elite Valor in the second wave is going to be reduced by 20%. Oh, is that the middle guy? The middle second guy? That's crazy. Okay. Nice. So Doki Doki is becoming easier. Then Ember Track Sharon is now, Ember Track, the boss HP is reduced by 25% in all 3 battle phases. Oh, so now you can just burst her down. She literally got hit by 25%. Yeah, that's crazy. It's a crazy nerf. I'm actually disappointed in this nerf, to be honest with you. Like, I'm not going to complain too much about, like, making stuff easier, because it means I don't have to spend as much time doing it. But it feels like this one, like, this content is supposed to be hard. So, I don't know. All of this up here, I'm agreeing with so far. This, honestly, they probably didn't need to do, but sure. But they also decided to make Astarte easier. So the effect accuracy is reduced by 50%, and all enemies attack in the second phase reduced by 20%. This is fine, I guess. Sure, so Astarte now is no longer going to be as annoying as she was in Ember Track. Also, Anti-Sync Echoes, Heinrich. This is actually where I'm at right now. The Heinrich, only in the normal stage, the enemy Marvel speed has been reduced by 5%. Okay, so you no longer need like 300 speed to outspeed this Marvel. Okay, cool. Also, normal, hard, and nightmare levels, the enemy So the Heinrich himself also had his speed reduced by 7%. So pretty much this is really good. So point is, the devs have listened, but there's a couple of weird things here, honestly, that I'm actually really surprised it ended up this way. The first one is the fact that I disagree with this. Even though I'm someone who got here and then waited a bit before doing it, I think this is fine. Like, this type of content should actually be difficult. So while I benefit from it as a player, I don't actually think this is correct, because this is not what people were really asking. I mean, this was more people complaining, but like, I would have fought for this. I would have easily fought on the dev side that this content is meant to be hard. All of this, though, this is the right direction. And my problem, my problem with this right here is like, this is all great. This, I guess, I mean, this is good, but it's like, I disagree with it. But also, where's Rengotsuku? Like, where's the Ringo nerfs? Yeah, we need the Ringo nerfs. Like, why are we nerfing all this instead of Ringo? Because I'm going to be honest, like, we're going to go look at my Ringo team today, and I don't know how I'm supposed to make it more consistent than it is. And I still am just, like, locked into the fact that it's always going to be 80-ish%. Which is, like, great, but, like, the only way I can do it is by getting actual literal dupes of a character or having actual perfect gear. Which is like, well, if that's the current level that Ringo is at right now to make it consistent, then screw me. Like, if they ever make an Inferno 2 or something higher than that, it's like, it's game over. Like, I have no idea how you're ever supposed to clear that stuff. So my problem is like, I think this is fine, but it's like 3 of these were things that should have been hit, right? This should have been, like, honestly, yeah, it's fine. I mean, this one, actually, you know what? This is the Astarte. I don't, yeah, this one's actually pretty good, right? This makes the dark one not like an instant reset. And the enemy attack, okay, you know what? Actually, the Astarte one is fine. The Astarte one is fine because that fight was literal RNG. Like, I was not looking forward to having to do that again now that it's reset, you know? But now, like, I was probably going to be like, we're going to go all the way up to 42, and then I'm going to stop, and I'm going to come back, and I'll do that at a different time. But now I don't feel that. But now I feel like, okay, I can just go straight up to 42. So I'm going to be honest. I don't think Aurora needs a nerf. I think that, like, I think that where all the modules were fine, which is why I'm like, I'm surprised the Doki's getting nerfed. I mean, I guess, but I think, like, the modules were fine. It was the shell. Like, this I agree with. This I agree with. I think these two needed to happen. Like, Nico was still pretty out of reach for most players. Like, the problem is like, with Nico, you can get to a point where it's easy mode, right? Like, it's easy mode and it's just purely RNG on if you get sleeps or not, which is where I'm at. That is a sign that it's fine. Like, it sucks. I think that it's fine though. I think, like, I agree with reducing the Elite Valor's attack by 20% in the second wave. I felt like it only actually needed to be this. I mean, like, this is fine because this isn't a huge nerf. This is like a light slap on the wrist. So there's that. But I mean, Inferno, I guess Aurora, like, if they're going to do it, but the biggest one here is like, where's Ringo? Because I'm in the current state of the game. The only ones where I was like, yeah, I think that they need nerfs are Shadowflame Hoyan and Ringo. And I felt like everything else was like, it was doable. It was doable, you know? And it was doable in a reasonable sense is what I mean. Like, Aurora, you get the tools to do it because you have Linglo, there is Viper, any DPS works as long as it's not green. To be honest, it just means, like, the better the DPS you have and the more fitting of a DPS you have for that dungeon is fine. Like, the only thing that I would really do to Inferno Aurora is I would slightly nerf the attack. That's it. Everything else is actually fine. But yeah, I mean, I guess they're doing this in phases and they're seeing how it goes. But yeah, I think this is good. This is okay. So this is a step in the right direction is pretty much the story of it. This is the step in the right direction. So wait, 2 weeks for Aurora and Ringo nerf. That's their modest approach. I guess it's okay if you want to make money off whales and FOMO. Yeah, I mean, I guess. They need to also nerf Sharon also in Grim Pursuit. Okay. So my problem and why I was like crashing out on like, you know, Nico and Hoyan and Rengo and like was the fact that there should be a very clear path to getting to the next tier, right? And that next tier is, how do you beat this? And how can a player reasonably beat this without having to build an entirely new team? Because right now, the resources are not there to build an entirely new team. They expect you, and the devs want you, to have to build new characters for a different team. They don't want cookie cutter characters. But the problem is how they design their game, it heavily incentivizes you to build cookie cutter teams very quickly. But the thing is like, you can beat Sharon if you have the building blocks to get to Sharon. Because Sharon is purely a DPS check, and you only need to build one new character, which is Kachi the Guard, right? And that to me is acceptable. When you have to only build one new character, to me, it's acceptable because that's your next step in progression. And it makes sense, right? But when they expect you to build like 12 new characters, like an entirely new team, which is what they were doing for Nico Nana, what they do for like when you get to Inferno for Doki Doki and all this stuff, it gets crazy. And the thing is like, you can't get to the Sharon right now because you can't unlock the 6 pieces. But if you can reasonably, as a free to play, eventually, without having to build 4 new characters, but only at most 1 for that specific fight, then it's reasonable. And that's why Teramaton, after the nerfs, became reasonable, because you have to build like 1 character specifically for it. And that is like Holden, or, you know, there's Kachi the Guard shenanigans that you can do, Vice, stuff like that, which is like, that's fine. And then once you do that, well, now you just go farm Nico Nana. And now that she's like very entry level, which I agree with, she should be the easiest one to get your toes into, because just getting the 3 matrix lines by themselves is an 8% stat bonus to each character that upgrades their to a 333. So, and those 333s, because it's guaranteed 333, it means that you are guaranteed a chance to at least build off of a 12 set, which will mean that you can then enter into the modules easier. And that is why I massively crashed out on the fact that Nico Nana was literally harder than all, like, pretty much all of them. Yeah, the drop rates are a different thing, but at the end of the day, it is a gotcha gambling game. If they make the drop rates too generous, we're gonna all complain about how everyone just has everything and it's just a gear RNG fest, right? So I think it's fine. Like there's definitely an argument to be had that like there should be no yellow shells, but I think that that's probably the extent of where that argument is right now. But yeah, I think like this is a really good change. Like just making Nico Nana the easiest so there's an entry level is a huge change, mostly with the nerfs that they already did Teramaton. So the reason why I heavily go with the Shadowflame Hoyan is the fact that right now, the only 2 dungeons where it feels like I can't give people an answer. Like when you guys come to me and you're like, how do I enter Shadowflame Hoyan? How do I enter Ringo? Right now, I legitimately can't answer that unless you have very specific characters. Like if you just don't have a dot team, I don't see how you do Shadowflame Hoyan, right? Like the best that I can really offer is, do you have Silence or do you have an Obel, right? And that's the problem, is that it requires more than 1 character to be built. You have to build Obel, and then you also have to build up like Viper, and then you also have to build up a character like Fagnus, which feels really fucking bad that you have to build 3 SR characters. You just won't get there in a reasonable time, because you can't build one SR a week. They don't give you the resources for one SR a week. They give you the resources for like a third of an SR a week. And that's if you decide to give up everything. That's if you give up every shadow print from an event, right? You'll maybe get half of one a week. So that means that in order to enter Grim Pursuit Shadowflame Hoyan, you have to dedicate almost an entire month, like an entire month of like any sort of progression to just enter this dungeon. And then it's also still a gear check. Like, it's ridiculous. So that's why Shadowflame Hoyan, this is 100% needed. And this is also why Ringo is there, because the only thing I can tell people to do is, do you have Kloss? If you literally do not have Kloss, you are not going to be able to do Ringo. You are just simply not. You just can't, because people have tried again. And even the players who are trying to find free to play alternatives, they're all going and just simply saying, well, listen, like, it's Kloss, you know, it's Vice, Kloss, Deting, and then like Linglo. And like, that's crazy, you know? And that's crazy that like there is no alternative to that. And that is bad for the game, mostly because it's blocked behind a SSR character, right? And so that's why Ringo should have been on here. And that's why I crash out when I see this, because like, I just simply can't. Like, anyone who comes to me for an account review and says, I want to do Ringo, I'll look at it and it's either you have the characters or you don't. And it's as simple as that. And there have been like a week of people trying to find alternatives to it, and they just can't. Because again, like, I'm at a point, and you'll see it. You'll see that my team that I have, it's fucking wild, right? And there's like only one minor thing that I can actually do to make it slightly more consistent before we start looking at literal dupes of a character that is, by the way, a SSR light and dark character, right? So it's just like, what are they supposed to do? So I think that missing Ringo here is a huge L, because it is by far, in a way, the most complained about character. This to me says that they're being still too reactive. They're trying to act like they're being proactive here, which this is a step in the right direction, and I commend them for that. I commend them for the fact that they've decided to give up the, oh, we're trying to be elitist, like the game is not supposed to be easy for people to farmable content, by the way. And it's crazy that like, this is reactive. This is them saying, oh, the free-to-plays got here, and all of a sudden it's like, you know, okay, now we'll touch something, right? Now that the free-to-plays finally got past Bjorn and they're bitching about Heinrich, we'll go and nerf him, you know? Like, come on. The Astarte one, like, okay, this one is like, there's a fair argument here. This fight is literally just RNG, and the fact that people like the only strategy that you can have to this fight is to literally just reset is bad. It's just bad optics, because you can't outstat it, right? It just happens. The Sharon one, I disagree with, because you can literally outstat it. This is actually just straight up a stat check, and it's a difficult PvE content. Doki Doki, like, okay, sure. I don't think they need to do a general 10% nerf, but the 20% attack on the second wave, this is probably more than enough, to be honest, that you can like semi-tank it out. And then, yeah, like, there's that. But now we have to wait for a lot of the free-to-plays to go and hit Ringo, spend like 2 weeks struggling, knowing that it's not possible. And then you're like, ah, shit. Okay, guess we'll nerf it. And that's my only problem with this, is that this is still very reactive. This is trying to come off as we're proactive, but this is not proactive at all. This is very reactive. Is it a step in the right direction? Absolutely. Should the devs just have listened when I first said that Inferno was beyond saving? Like, it's weird. I posted this a week ago. I made a stream complaining about it a week ago. That thread got shut down. It got literally shut down because they didn't want to hear people continue to doom post, by the way. But now it's oh, hey guys, we're listening. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy to me. That's the only thing that kind of rubs me the wrong way here, is that this is, again, they're waiting for people instead of just accepting the fact that, hey, guess what? Like, we know that this is going to be a problem down the line. And it was so obvious. It was so obvious. And I'm saying it again. Ringo, just be proactive. Nerf him now. Like, nerf him now. If they do that, huge W. This is a W change, 100%. but it's also like only 90%. It is 90%. If they had Rengo here, this would be the biggest W that they would have had in a long time. But the fact that Rengo's not here, it says a lot about where their current stance is on the game and approaching making positive adjustments, which is the only thing that scares me. So there's that. Like, here's the thing, Spuns, like, she's not the answer. Like, she is the best answer to Ringo right now. But here's the thing. Okay, let me just show you the Yelly I use right now. This is the Yelly I use right now for Ringo, okay? Like, perfect, besides like low roll. Pretty much perfect here, besides like maybe Swift Rate is a little bit better here. Her speed, and this is what I mean, right? My run is still like 80%. And I literally, it was like 75% and it went to 80% because I three duped her for an extra 100 attack. And that made a difference. But here's the thing, it's like, there's only like 2 pieces of gear that I can actually upgrade. This is literally perfect, by the way. This is literally perfect. Besides, yeah, I mean, no, this is literally perfect. All 5 rolls are used here on a crit damage piece. There's literally no way to improve this piece because she's already overcapped on crit. So I can't improve this piece. So there's literally no progress for me. This piece here, I'm missing a few rolls. So this is like the only piece where I'm missing, what is it? I'm missing 2, 3. So I'm missing 3 rolls on this piece. The only way to improve this is to farm very specifically a crit damage piece that has, oh geez, awake. Listen. The only way to improve this piece is to farm literally the same piece and I roll again, but it has to roll on either attack percent, like get that and get attack percent, or roll speed, because I do need 5 more speed. She needs to be 195 to like consistently outspeed after everything. This piece here, again, like I would have to get a very specific Fury Edge, and then I'm missing, what is this? I'm missing like 3 subs. So this is probably the easiest piece to upgrade, but the only thing that I can upgrade is like more attack and I guess possibly speed. Because again, I would also have to hit this crit rate again. This piece here, literally perfect piece. Literally perfect piece. You could not ask for a better piece. Like you could not. There's no upgrade here. One missed sub. Literally 1 missed sub here. And that's it. And then this one as well. 1 missed sub. Sorry, 2 missed subs. So I have maybe 6 substats that are like, that is me farming endgame gear. That is endgame gear. That is like, you should not be here. I'm way above the curve on my DPS gear. That is me being honest. Like the thing that my account has that makes it stand out is DPS gear. Like easily. I know that, you know, when people come and, you know, and look at my account, I know the first thing that they're going to see is like the thing that makes my account strong. And I'm not trying to like, this is me being humble too. I have some of the best DPS gear in the game right now, like 100%. This stuff, I understand. I don't expect a player to get to this for probably a year, unless they are lucky. Like, to be honest, right? And then also have the shell. And they want me to improve this further to make my run more consistent. Like this Yelly, the fact that this is not at least a 90% Yelly, just shredding through Ringo, 100% is bad for the game. It doesn't matter how you look at it. It's not me complaining. It's just straight up optics. Like, it's just straight up optics, man. It means that he either does too much damage, he's too fast, or he's too tanky. Like the fact that this run, I can like still be missing out on a little bit of damage. Well, here I'm fucked because he started dark as well. This is crazy that he can start a different color each time. Like now I'm just screwed. Because again, I'm not 195. That's the only problem. I'm kind of stuck. And now she just gets like 1 shot. and then this one shots me here. See, this is the only way that this run fails, is that I get like a dark one, you know? So there you go. And I called it. How am I supposed to improve that there? What, I get 195 speed? Doesn't save her from dying there. She just gets one shot. Why? Well, because they deal too much damage on the ads as well here. So that's the problem. And it's like, this is not something that needs to be like a huge nerf either, right? Honestly, don't even nerf this guy. Nerf the ads. Remove the silence. Like, just straight up remove the silence. Change it to a speed down instead. Or at least make them not hit as much. Because the problem is like, they're literally killing me through Valerian and all this. Like, I have everything that I can to survive here. And she's also pretty tanky. Do you use Jelly on Sharon Inferno too? I haven't farmed Sharon, but I probably will use her there. Because apparently she's really good there. Like, I showed you my gear. Like, there's maybe 6 subs that I can improve. 6. That's not, like, reasonable. You know? That's stuff that, like, I'm improving because it's late game. So, that's crazy. And that's just to enter this thing. Like, that's wild. It's actually just, it's just wild, man. Are you using any momentum sets? I know it won't help for this farm. I am not using any momentum sets. I don't have a good one. Is there a substitution for Kloss? No, there just simply isn't. That's the other problem. Because they deal so much damage that if you don't have the hacking, you are just not clearing this. That's the other problem. That's why I have the crash out here. Can you show Terra Inferno with Yelly? I mean, I haven't built that team. I still just use the dot team because it's already built and I don't need to change what isn't broken and already clears sub 1. I'll probably do like a Terra version of this when I want to sit down and build a faster version with Yelly, but there's no point for me to change like that. You can 100% use Jelly there for sure. Like, this Jelly will shred that Terra Inferno 100%. Thoughts on Yelly? My honest thoughts on Yelly is she is really good for whales. She is a character though that needs very, very high investment. Predicting a bunch of CC complaining the game is too easy in a few months. I think that that could be true for the Anti-Sync and the Amber Track because they didn't nerf it. They didn't need to nerf those. I think Astarte is the only one that needs to be nerfed. I'm surprised they nerfed the Sharon though. Yeah, you need attack down, you need bloodbath, and you need to make sure that you take 12-minute clears. That's a great thing. That's the problem, right? You need bloodbath, so you need a very specific set. You still need the attack down, even though you have bloodbath, and you also need to have you need to accept the fact that every run that you have is like 5 minutes, and because it's 5 minutes, you're weaker. 3 minutes. Sorry, I'm being hyperbolic here, okay? But like, it's a little bit unrealistic is my problem. My run is more consistent from Ringo using Swift's Mike Shackle on Lily over Tizen, speed over tankiness. I did try her faster, but it was worse for me. It's always different for different people though, because there's different speed tunings, right? So nerfing stuff, just add a claw spanner. Bro sees the money. Looking for a spell for Terra and Aurora. So if you do Heinrich, it becomes a stat check. So if you can do the damage, then it'll be fine. Then yeah, you can use Heinrich. See how most of the bosses are vulnerable to taunt, but we don't have a reliable one other than our unit Vice. Yeah, that's the other thing, right? Like for me, if there was a taunter that was not light, this would become a lot easier because I could just build a really fast taunter and then I would be safe even if this guy started dark. I just think that they need to reduce his damage or his HP slightly, and that's it. I think that Ember Track, Anti-Sync, all of that should be hard. But I don't know. Which set for Linglo? Well, it depends, right? So if you're using for Aurora, you want her to be fast. So you'll build her on Swift, Cure, and the I think it's Evil Guard, the one that gives healing. If it's PvP, you want Bloodbath, Cure, or Bloodbath, Swift Rush, and Evil Guard. And then your right side, it can just be any mix of HP and defense percent. And technically, like, you could explore effect resist, because I'm pretty sure there's some sort of mechanic with effect resist that we're just kind of overlooking. I don't know, because right now it kind of looks like it's kind of a useless stat. And I don't believe that they would do that. I'm pretty sure there's some sort of mechanic in there that we don't know about, that if someone invests time and tries to see if there is, I'm pretty sure it'd work out. I disagree. I spent the whole day fighting. Yeah, okay, that's the elitist mentality, Reese. I don't even need to read the rest of it. That's the elitist mentality. Like, again, I'll joke about it, but like, listen, I have literally no incentive to make this stuff easier. Like, just remember that, right? Just remember, like, the only thing that I have as an incentive to make this game easier is so I can make a video that says dev listened, right? Which I'm not going to get as much out of doing that video as other content creators. So I literally gain nothing besides like lowering the gap between me and the average player on my main account, which is just bad optics. Right? So I'm progressively hurting myself by complaining about like this. So when I'm complaining about this, it's because one, I'm looking at my experience and I literally know what the current experience is. Like, if you don't have Colossus here, you're going to cry, you know? I would talk about the Lily thing, but that's like a running point already, is that like the fact that, like, I mean, Lily's probably is actually replaceable for like Vice, and then you run to Ting here. I think that's definitely doable, but again, the Kloss, that ain't replaceable. So, but yeah, I literally gain nothing for saying the truth. That's all it is. I'm simply saying the facts. I said it at first when I got to Inferno that this was too unrealistic, the expectation for the players, and now they got there, and guess what happened? People complained and it's nerfed because they realized, and the stats show it, it's too unrealistic. And I'm saying it again for Ringo. I'm saying it from the start. It's the same exact situation. You managed to clear once with Viper, Linglo, Yelly, Lily. Oh. Well, what happens if you don't have Lily there? We're back to square one. See? Imagine if there was a 10% nerf here. I would have cleared that. So much fucking RNG. Like, I just don't have a way. Like, the only way for me to improve this team is I have to go build. Yeah, this guy got giga buffed. Like, giga buffed. Have you started account reviews? Israel, I'm not doing account reviews today. Like, the difference between where he was in CBT and this, it's like, it's not even close. Actually, no. He was a joke at Hell. This guy was a joke at Hell. And I think what my spreadsheet said, if I remember correctly, was Hell is a joke, just send it. But Inferno, we don't know because no one actually got there. Does a Yelly skin give her increased follow-up chance? It does look like it. But no. So yeah. Yeah, I think it's a step in the right direction. Is Veronica a good unit to invest into? For PvP, Veronica is insane. But outside of PvP, no, not really. Unless you're doing like, I mean, I guess now you can do my run with Terra Inferno that we were doing at the start, and that would be a lot easier. So yeah. Honestly, if they do nerf Rengoku tomorrow, I'm gonna drop 150 back. Last thing, right? Like, here's the thing. At the end of the day, most games, the reason why they do the free-to-play model is they get you in, they get you hooked, they get you stuck into a point where it's FOMO to quit, and then you're more likely to spend money. You know, because you're there every day. So all of a sudden, like, even the people who are not spending $1 will spend $1 because, well, if I need Valerian, I'm already like 2 weeks in, I can drop a fucking $1, you know, and that's how you break the free-to-play. If you get to the point where you're like, oh, I've hit a roadblock, I literally can only progress if I have this stuff, those players are going to quit. They're literally not, they're not going to stay or anything. They're just going to quit. They're going to, oh, okay, next game. Because there's so many games on the market to go to. So that's the thing that makes it crazy, is like the fact that they're being reactive to this stuff. It makes no sense. It literally just benefits them. It does not benefit them to make their game like Dark Souls. This is not a Dark Souls one. So like, I don't know. No one's joining this game for the difficult PvE content. They're joining it to get through the PvE and go straight to PvP. That's just the truth. And the people that want to do it for the PvE, they can do it. There's like 3 different modes for endgame PvE. And that's like the starting point. Actually, there's 4 because there's the timed event too. So there's like no excuse. Have you been finding dev feedback though? How have you been finding the dev feedback though? People have been somewhat responsive. I mean, they've said like one thing, and we kind of had to joke about it as a community that like, oh, we have to wait weeks to see it. And they're like, oh, okay, I guess we'll push this out right away. Now, I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it because I can't see what's going on at their headquarters, but it feels like they're still reactive. It just feels like they're reactive still. And they're only doing this because they're starting to see that it actually is impacting players instead of just accepting the fact that, hey, guess what? Maybe I called this a week ago. Maybe I called it a literal week ago. But hey, what do the players know? It's not like we play your fucking game. I think it's a step in the right direction, but they still have a long way to go to rebuild trust. Because they took that trust, they brought it outside, and they shot it. Put it down like a dog. So, we'll see if they can rebuild it. Maybe I can get some streamer luck with my drops here. What do you think of Chloros on Rengo? So, to be honest, I think the way that you make Rengo consistent is, yeah, you build like Chloros Rosa, and they would probably shred him together. So yeah. Managed to clear your Ember track? Yeah, I did. Yo, fatty, how's it going? I'm using Yelly on Battle Wheel? No, I'm not. She's on Fury, Keen Eye, Fury Edge. Linglo S1 is what I recommend maxing. Yeah, that's the thing, is it's too many lattices. So again, that comes back to my point of what's a reasonable expectation for players? Right? What's a reasonable expectation? Because you don't get that many lattices. The truth is, if Terror and Aurora were at the same level as what they were in the CBT, I would probably want to be as struggling with Rengotsuku as I would, because I would have been able to stick to my Chloros route. But the problem was that it was too difficult, and now they've nerfed it. Now we've all reset because it was the right thing to do to progress, instead of just waiting for 3 weeks to actually be able to play the game, which is unreasonable. So yeah, it's just, it's just crazy that now it's like, oh, I have to go back and I have to rebuild that character, because before there's no point, like it was just useless. So it's kind of a weird optic again, where it's like they're too reactive. So I don't know. If you sat there and you held on to your Chloros, you'd probably be winning here because you just build Rosa and that'd be your DPS for Aurora. And then once they nerf Aurora, because they probably will, because even though I think that it's fine personally, I understand that the general audience don't think it's fine. So they'll probably choose to listen to them more. So yeah. Great. Again, the only way that I can make this run more consistent is actually just like 5 speed. Yeah, if the game was marketed as hard PvP, I agree with you, Kyoka. It would be fine. But this game was not marketed as that. You know what this game was marketed as? This game was marketed from the start as a game where both whales and free-to-plays can compete in good PvP content. And that PvP was the driving factor. This was the next generation of the first big 3D PvP gacha game. That is what it was marketed at. What we got instead is almost a month now of just sitting here trying to focus on PvE content because it's fucking Dark Souls but gacha game, you know. And that's being hyperbolic. I don't think it's as difficult as Dark Souls. I don't think that's the case, but like you look at that and you're like, again, and then I get told, oh, it's a marathon, not a sprint, when I say I want to be able to power through all this so I can just start playing PvP. But bro, like most people just are like, we can't do PvP because there's no gear sets for the difference between it. And it's just like, it's not like, oh, I don't like difficult content. I do. It's just, I don't really expect difficult content to be the farming stages. I expect it to be what is the equivalent to Abyss in Epic 7 or Endless Tower and stuff like that in Summoner's War, which is anti-sync, which is fine. I'm not like, that's why I disagree with the Heinrich nerf, because I don't think that's needed. I think that is just a get better, and it's a one-time clear. Eventually you'll get there. Yeah, let me sprint to another game. Exactly. Like that's the thing. Like there's Neverness to Everness coming up, and I'm probably gonna play that game and make videos on that game regardless, just because I want to try it because I'm excited for it, and I need my fix for GTA because that got delayed again. But here's the thing, right? Like when you have so much competition, you can't afford to sit there and just be the same as what your competitors were 7 years ago. Great. You have to be better than where it is. You have to be. But yeah, like the fact is I have crazy gear here and my runs are just coming down to RNG. Like that's it. It's just RNG at this point. There's literally nothing I can do besides maybe try to get like a bet. Like the only thing that I can realistically do is say, okay, let's not farm Rengo. Let's go farm Shadowflame Hoyan for a specific shell, which by the way, the math, someone did the math on how much it takes to get a very specific shell. It takes like, I think it's 2,000, sorry. What is it? 2,400 runs, which is 24k stamina, which even for a free to play, that's like 2 weeks, like 16 days, I think, if I remember. I'm just going off the top of my head what the numbers were. So, okay, sure. So you expect players, and remember, there's 4 characters you need on a team. So if you need 4 specific shells, good luck with that, because they're not even including rolling the passives that make it usable on there, which could be even longer. So you're looking at like almost a month to set up a single dungeon, which is like, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't matter what your game is. If it takes me a month to do the next bit of farmable content so I can then play what I came for, which is the PvP, I'm just gonna go play Epic 7, man. I'm just gonna go play Epic 7. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I think there should be monthly resets. I think there should be 3 resets a month. You can reset up to 3 characters a month, and you get your starting event, and then you get 1 free reset a month, and then the next 2 cost like 200 and 300 gems. I think that should be here, just because if they're not going to increase the amount of currency that they're giving us to build characters, I want to be able to change. And also it means that they can freely nerf and buff units between seasons, knowing that if you expect a character to get nerfed, you can start to plan to reset them in the previous month and just accept that you're going to be a little bit weaker at the end of the season, or you can slowly reset and build your account in a new way, which would be nice. And it does allow you to have that optic of, okay, I'm going to reset these characters because I'm not using them anymore because I've upgraded. Now I can get those resources back, and it makes it much easier to build the next character. So I think that would be really good for the game. And they can literally tie in like crystals, like crystal tax on it, which is just good for business. So yeah. Let's add it onto the quest tab. I don't even think it should be a quest tab. It should just be an event. It should literally just be the animus reconfiguration is you get 3 every once a month. Oh, great. So again, like this is where it's like a 10% nerf is all it would take. And I would be like, oh, okay, this is fine. Because again, there is literally no way for me to improve my gear. There is no way to improve my gear besides farming a very specific shell for 5 extra speed. I actually have the shell too, to be honest. I actually already have the shell, but again, I'm the exception. I'm not the rule. So the fact that the exception is having the problem, then I can only imagine what it's actually like. Because I don't think I have, yeah, I'd have to grab this. And then I would have to change, wait, is that, oh, that's crit rate. No, so I don't even have it. Yeah, so I'd have to lower my stats drastically. Because right now I would lose 6% crit rate, so I'll become further off. Yeah. And then I would have to build, where is he? This one. And then remember, I also have to build this. And on top of building it, I would also have to roll similar passives, which were triple red. So, yeah, I don't know why that's the expectation. Because I'm going to be honest, if this where I'm at currently is not good enough, there's a problem. If this is not good enough to have a consistent good DPS with a P3 Yelly 455 with cracked stats, like 190 is still pretty fast. 190 is still pretty fast for not having Swift Raid, you know? Like, this is not enough. This is unacceptable. It is unacceptable that this Yelly is just sometimes missing out on killing this guy. And then it comes down to RNG. It's just unacceptable. There's literally nothing else to say. And they were like, yeah, let's wait. Let's wait and see. Like, no, you don't need to wait and see, man. People have been at Ringo for a week now. People have been at Ringo for a week. Just nerf it. Nerf the HP, nerf the damage. Simple as that. Make it so you don't need Kloss to be in here. And make it so if you do have Kloss and stuff like that, like, you should be able to clear this consistently, very easily. They just need to do that. It just needs to happen. So. Yeah, if a 455 Yelly with Kloss is struggling, I don't see how I can clear this without Kloss. Exactly. Well, there is. You just have to go farm and make your entire account around Aurora with Bloodbath and take 3 minutes per run, and that probably still has RNG in it. So, good luck. Yeah, they nerfed Nico Nana again. Yeah, 3 minutes for epic shells. Yep. Because remember, the PvP game wants you to take 15 minutes to clear your 5 run to then press auto again every day. That's acceptable though, because you know what? Farmable dungeon stages need to be a marathon, not a sprint. Just remember that, guys. Because you didn't get lucky and pull Kloss and Lily, and you don't have a cracked Yelly, you're going to have to go farm, specifically Aurora, who by the way is also annoying for you to do as a free-to-play. And you will have to, oh, thank you, Kato, welcome. Thank you for the member. Yeah, just remember that, because remember guys, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And you know what? 10 years ago, there was a game that came out called Summoner's War, and it was also like this. So it's acceptable for a game a decade later to be like that. Just remember that. Yeah, funny enough, it's the one that you can tank out the best. Aurora is actually, funny enough, like the easiest to tank out. But here's the catch-22. The best tank gear is on Aurora. So, yeah. But to be honest, if you have a good Linglo, it's super easy. And it's actually pretty easy to get a good Linglo after the Doki nerf. So again, I don't think Aurora needs to be nerfed. Happens in every game. People don't understand that whales and sweats are mining canaries of the game. If they find problems, the population will find the same problem in 2 weeks. Exactly. We found this a week ago. We called it. We made a thread about it. We got by the way, the people that were coming into that thread and causing issues and were like trying to flame me for it. When I asked them what they were clearing and I looked at their accounts, they were not even touching it yet. They were literally not even touching it yet. And there was one guy who said, yeah, I'm stuck in Hell 3. Bro, I'm sorry, but you're stuck in Hell 3. You don't know what you're talking about. Actually, you should join my stream so I can give you an account review, you know, because we can probably fix that, you know, or at least put you on the path to fix that. But the fact is like where he was at, like if you weren't there, you don't, I'm going to be honest, I'm sorry, you don't deserve an opinion. You know, even if you agree with me, I don't think your opinion is valid unless you're trying the content. If you're trying the content and you're struggling to clear it, but you think that it's clearable and you want to say that because of this, you don't think it needs a nerf, that's fine. You can disagree with me. But it was people who literally weren't even there yet that were trying to tell me how I should feel as someone who is there and telling you I know exactly what's going to happen. And then what happened? It happened. So is Viper a must, even having all characters in Aurora? Yeah, I still use Viper there. I would highly recommend him. And you're probably going to build him for PvP. So you may as well. He is one of those tax characters, and I'm fine with there being tax characters, right? I'm fine with there being tax characters where you need to build Viper, you need to build a Ting, you need to build Kachi the Guard, you need to build, you know, X, Y, and Z. That's fine. You need to pay the tax on the Linglo, but they should also give the resources to do that. Now, I understand that they probably are like, well, we don't even know what the answer is or what the tax is. So to be honest, in a year from now, they're probably going to have these new player welcome events. And they're going to say, here's a free to Ting, here's a free Sonya, here's a free this, that, and here's the resources to build it by doing a quest. And that's fine. I understand that that doesn't need to be here right now. But at the same time, if the players go into that and then tell you what the response is, you should probably be a little bit more proactive with getting it done. Now, they have done that here, but that's because the free-to-plays are now complaining. You know, the free-to-plays have gotten there, and now they've said their opinion. So it's weird. It's like, didn't that just prove that, like, maybe you should have listened to us a week ago? This could have been done a week ago, by the way. Obel, Fangus, Kachi, Vice, Viper, all good tax characters. Yeah, 100%. When are you going to talk about PvP, like builds and drafts? Yeah, Clear, that's a great question. Maybe when I'm actually able to play PvP. But guess what? Okay, this is the only thing that is my saving grace. Is that because I can now farm Ringo, I can farm every dungeon in the game. So I'll probably start doing PvP a lot more in like a week or two. But here's the other thing. All the characters that I want to start building for PvP, where are they? I happen to have a lot of characters that are going to double up into PvP by choice, yeah. But I still need to build like 1, 2, 3. I still need to build like 4 characters to actually have a playable account that isn't just me bringing PvE units. So for the next like 2 weeks, it's still gonna be Mickey Mouse Disneyland trip, you know. So probably in like 2 weeks is when I'll be like a little bit more focused on it. Two questions for you. Isn't Kelly with Red better with attack crit damage? And is Rengo Inferno doable without Lily? There's an argument for the attack crit damage for sure, but I don't think it's that big of a difference. We'd have to see. I don't have the piece to test it though. I don't know if it's going to be like a big enough difference that it's like worth changing. It's probably a situation where it's like the stat difference matters more, because Jelly has, okay, the reason why like attack percent is always going to be better on a lot of the units with like smaller attack is because you want that to maximize the value of your rev. If you already naturally have high attack, it's a little bit redundant to build that attack. Oh, there we go. There's another run that's just RNG gone just like that. Again, 10% nerf would have been more than enough to fix that run. So I don't exactly think that it would always be better. It's probably one of those situations where it's like the most optimal piece is this. If you have Disneyland, everyone gets to have whatever they want, perfect subs on everything. Yeah, you're probably right. Generally, it's probably just a substat difference. And 2 crit damage dealt more. Yeah, but again, Garden, was it really a situation of like it does more, or did you just have better substats on the build that was using the piece with the crit damage? You know? Because unless you tested a piece that had the only difference was the attack and crit damage, and neither of them had any other DPS subs, it's not a fair test. Like, that's the thing, right? What's Opal skill upgrades? Just S3. Yeah, Rev isn't really that insane for PvE unless there's like damage reduction that Rev can bypass because it's true damage. That's the thing. For Rosa, what are the best 3 right sides to use? Mainly against fire paired with red. It's usually just like attack percent double crit damage if you can get enough crit rate without having to build it, or it's usually 1 crit rate side piece. Viper build, most are doing like Dark Moon on him, and then they'll do just Swift Rush and then just tank. That's it. And then like as much speed as possible. Nothing too crazy. Usually HP right side. Is triple attack Rosa right side troll? Usually, because the thing about Rosa is that she has such low base attack that it's just better to have the crit damage. Like really low. Is Lily mandatory on Ringo? No, you can definitely find. I think Lily is replaceable here, to be honest. I think Suki could work. Suki could definitely work with a Codex here. It would actually, honestly, that may be what I need to do. If I'm gonna be honest. If I'm gonna be honest here, it may be Suki with a Codex here would help. Again, let's talk about it again. 10% nerf. This would have already been cleared. Kloss is the one that's mandatory for better clears. Yes. You can't clear. Sayman, have you ever thought about instead, hear me out, just building 4 Rev users in Kazuya? I'm telling you, that would clear the Doki Doki. Just saying. I'm not kidding, by the way. Does CCing the ads make it easier? Possibly. Possibly. I did test for a little bit, trying to kill one of the ads on the side, but yeah. Does hacking count as a debuff? Yes, it does. Do you think they'll nerf Rev for PvP after Shanghai Worlds or wait until the 80 day? At this point, they may as well just wait for the 80 day because if they nerf anything... Also, a lot of people are using Rev to clear Doki, so I don't think that they'll... Honestly, Rev probably doesn't need to be nerfed. I'm going to be honest. I thought about it really hard, and I would say probably the one thing where I was just a whiner was Rev. I think Rev is actually interesting for the game. I think they'll probably nerf it after the 80 days for the season end for sure, but I would be very surprised if they nerfed it before then. And to be honest, they probably don't need to nerf it. It's one of those things that are just like, it's just like Marvel early game and CBT. He didn't actually need a nerf. That, like, that's the reality of it. He didn't actually need a nerf, but he's going to get nerfed because of the optics. Because, like, if you think about it, it's actually kind of cool that there's a way to turn support characters into DPSs, but they're not primary DPSs, they're secondary DPSs. And once you know someone's doing a bunch of revs, and because you can see it in the draft when they pick a character, it shows the shell, you kind of already know what they're doing and you know how to beat it. And that's picking characters with like Bloodbath Lighthouse would heavily counter them. Like heavily counter them for sure. Or just outspeeding them, because a lot of those characters that you're building, they're kind of capped in how fast they can be because of the shells that they have to bring. So I actually think Rev is fine when you look at it from like the outside perspective. It's annoying, it's cheesy, but long term, it's just going to be a strategy that I think is unique in this game. And that's okay. Oh, there we go. There's my run. Perfect. Gotta love it. Again, 10% nerf. So how many 10% nerfs has that been? Because I'm not always paying attention. I know it's definitely more than this. Again, the only way that I can improve this run is 5% speed. Oh, sorry, 5 speed. Do you have to pay tax for a claw? No. Claws can just stay at 111. Five speed is the only difference between this run getting like an extra 5%. Because there's still all the other RNG that exists. Is 155 Yelly good enough? Mine's 455, and you've seen how many times that I've come down to RNG. No, unfortunately it's not. Some people were doing it, but they were complaining about how inconsistent it was in my guild, and I said, yeah, because you're trying to be greedy. Like, that's all it is, it's just greed. Unfortunately, the game has designed it in a way where Yelly is not usable in PvE unless she's 455. The only exception to that is, like, Doki Doki. But that's more because she's just a rev user. You could replace her with RC and get the same result. You know? What do you think the best Rosa sets are for PvE for red clears? I mean, it's still just going to be like Revelation with momentum plus, yeah, like just full crit damage and crit rate. It's almost always going to be the case for Rosa, no matter what in PvE. And even in PvP, it's still just going to be like Rev, but it's going to be Swift Raid instead of like Fury Edge. It's just going to be Keen Eye, like always for her. Actually, Onslaught does have a little bit of value. Momentum has value for her. She's like probably the weakest out of the Keen Eye users outside of PvP, for PvE specifically, because of the amount of follow-up she does. But yeah. How are you beating Ringo? Yeah, like that's... Ooh, no Yelly? Well, you better have one of the best detings out there. Otherwise, good luck. It's either that or you're going like Chloros Rosa. Those are like the three routes for DPSs. I have 2 5-star characters, sorry, 2 SSRs that are skilled up as well, by the way. Or having a Yelly that's Giga scaled. Or having a, yeah, or having a really good Detang. Yay, again. Because I didn't have the 5 speed there, that one's on me. So that one is the one where it's like, I guess technically I could build another Revelation and delay entry into Ringo because of that. But you know what? That's fine. I would not have a problem with those runs existing. That's on me. But the others, yeah, nah. And of course, I'm also getting the stream tax, which is every time that I'll stream, I will have the worst RNG possible on my runs. But if I go off stream, I'll go 10 out of 10 because I won't have this problem. So that's why I'm not going to complain about that too much. But yeah, they definitely need to nerf Rengo by like 10% for the attack and speed, and then this fight would be fine. Wouldn't it slap if Yelly's skin wasn't just a recolor? Imagine her ult turning green. Yeah, I do wish that they put a little bit more effort into the skins. I think just recolorings are a little bit boring. Skill ups for Viper for Aurora, S2 into S3. That's pretty much all you need for him. Okay, they all get saved. Now, can we get a good codex? I'm afraid to max my Yelly if they suddenly nerf Rengo. The thing is, if you do decide to invest into the Yelly, she's still useful in Terramaton. She's still useful in Aurora. She's still going to be better. Like that's still going to be like the level investment that you need for Sharon. So it's not a bad choice to invest into the Yelly. I would recommend if you have the option to 455 a Yelly and you are a player that has like decent speed gear, then I would recommend that you 455 the Yelly and use her. You put your Yelly to 451. Yeah, that's where mine was because the ultimate needs to be in sync. Even Lilius, different story. No, because to be what I said, which is a cleaver, you kind of need Lily. You need Lily, Suki. You need to have those type of characters that are contesting turn 1 and also able to boost up Yelly. What's a good speed for cleavers? Right now it's like 320. It's like 320 for the speed. Let's see here. Oh, again, there's another 10% nerf difference that could have happened. I feel like I'm a broken record with the amount of situations where like a 10% nerf would make this fight like reasonable. Because it would be also into Ting range. By 25%, I think 25% is a lot, but I wouldn't hate it. I think 20% is fair. Building Yelly for Ringo, or do I wait a week? I mean, honestly, if you're at a point where you're debating it, you should probably just wait. Morning Boss was reading the Twitter comments under the new announcement. I think the player base is cooked. Want Hells nerfed. Hells I disagree with being nerfed because I think Hells are fine. Hells, it was annoying. The spike between Nightmare and Hell is quite big. Like there's a huge jump from Hell 2 to Hell 3, and Hell 3 to Hell 4. For sure. It feels like what was in CBT the jump to between Hell and Inferno. But it's possible. Like that's the thing, is like there's a lot of things to be possible. That there I would say is literally an example of like, oh, you just have to get good. If I didn't have 455 Messiah, I would be much more willing to build Yelly. I mean, I have both builds. I have a 445 Messiah and I have a 455 Yelly. So I think that's a fine investment because those are your like premier DPSs that you're picking as a cleaver anyway. So, oh, and you built Rosa. Yeah, the Rosa's a little bit troll. You only need to get her S3 up. That's it. And you don't even have to max it because you'd only be using her for PvP. Going the same route because I like cleaving? Yeah. The only issue with the cleave route, right, is that like it's all kind of RNG if we get the speed or not. Luckily, I've gotten the speed enough to like, I don't have the fastest characters, but I have a lot of good speed, right? Like I'm able to build multiple characters over 300 speed, which is really good because in RTA, that's more important than having one character with your best speed gear that's 340 speed. Like, I would rather have 3 characters with 310, 320 speed, which is where I'm at right now, where I have like 3-4 characters, than a single Lily that's 200, then is like plus 280, you know? Even if they had a 400 speed Lily, okay, that's cool. I banned that, and then I outspeed you everywhere else. GG's. So, it is unfortunate that I haven't gotten any, like, gold speed rolls, but, hey, I mean, it's good enough. What do you think about Turnadot, though? Turnadot? Like, where? For PvP? I mean, I'll just run Heinrich. I'll just run a fast Heinrich, and then GG Bulwark users. Can you play Yelly Inferno Termaton? I'm pretty sure after the nerfs you can. I haven't tried it yet, but I'll probably look at making a faster Termaton team once I have everything set up. But right now, I don't know. Probably. She's probably fine there. I expect her to be good pretty much everywhere. Mostly after the nerfs. That's just like, I feel pretty safe about like investing into Yelly. Yeah, I mean, she's only 3 speed faster. And also, Heinrich's just a better general unit. And he's AoE. Post-nerf, I think Dot can be retired except for Hoyan. I mean, there's no point, right? Like, that's the thing, is if you've already set up Dot, there's literally no point changing. Because Dot will always be the fastest. Dot will always be the fastest because it's the most gear efficient. Like, I would still say that I would always want Dot on my account if I was, like, lucky. The only reason that you would retire it is if you were, like, a Fangus user. If you didn't have Shadow Sonya and you were using the budget Shadow Sonya, which was Fangus. That's the only time where I would say that that's, like, true. But if you're using Lily, Shadows, like I have a Dot Termaton team, it clears at 1 minute. Like, I'm good. Like, saving 20 seconds for all the struggle to build a Yelly team, that would come with, like, testing, getting the speed tuning right, probably building new characters, because I would need to switch to probably Heinrich for the extra damage for stripping. Like, that's either going to naturally happen just from me building those characters naturally over time, or I'm not going to bother, right? Like, there was someone earlier who was like, can you please go, I'm not going to do that because it's not worth it for me. It's literally just not worth the optics. It makes no sense. I thought Turn.S2 was AoE. Is it AoE? I haven't played with her enough to know, honestly. I mean, if it is, I guess, but I mean, at the same time, I would much rather just be building Heinrich because he also pairs much better with characters like Freya, because Turnadot, she just does the strip, right? And like pushback, but Freya would push back 3 times as well. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure Turnadot is not AoE because her strip was also a pushback, if I remember. I'm pretty sure it was single target. Oh, we'll just go check. Turnadot. It's single damage. Yeah. So yeah, she's definitely not better than, you know what she would be good for though? If you built her on Revelation. She would be a huge, like, anti-single nuker, right? She could be a good last pick. If your opponent drafts, like, a draft where it's 3 healers, a bloodbath user, like Tiamat, and then they drafted, like, Rahu as well, you would ban the Tiamat, you draft her, she becomes a force ban on Revelation, and then they just lose because she just single-handedly makes it so even though she's probably not killing the Rahu, she's like forcing you to heal up and like softening him up that anyone kills him. Like, that'd be funny. But that's like, am I building that right now? No, I'm probably building that in like a year. Good luck, if ever. Like, let's be real. That's the other problem, right? Even those crazy ideas, which like that's an idea that definitely can work. Am I going to have the resources to build that for a while? No, probably not. Because even if I do have, like, sure, she's a SR, right? Which is a lot more achievable to build. But am I going to waste my shadow prints on this? Am I going to waste my, like, am I going to go farm XP for this character? Probably not. So it doesn't matter. Even though that's like a cool idea, I'm not going to go do it. And I don't have the ability to test it, because if I test it and then it's not good, well, now I'm just down a character. So I'm down like a week of progress. And that's the problem again. Like this is one of the reasons why I think that I will always say this, the turn-based like character selection, like the drafting and all that, like this is such a good game. Like this idea of like drafting everything is great. The issue is it's tied into gacha, and because it's tied into gacha systems with progression, it's a character building game that doesn't allow you to build as many characters as you'd want, which is just always going to be bad. That's the worst thing I hate about this. And it's the same thing for Epic 7. It's the same thing for Summoner's War, is that generally it doesn't matter if there's cool ideas, mostly in this one, because so like Epic 7 is better because now they just give everything out like candy, right? The game's just at a point where like they give you enough that you can always build it. But I have to go out of my way now to like get all these lattices, and I have to always choose. Remember, every event you have to choose between the red shadow print or the SR lattice. And where I'm at, I have no reason to pick the SR lattice. I just pick the red shadow print, you know? So it just makes no sense, right? Like there's no point. So even though like that's a cool idea, why would I pick it? Why would I build her? And the only good counterpoint to that I've seen is that Summoner's War is also kind of exclusive on what characters you can build, but that's because it's tied into the fact that like you have to get the characters in the first place, because the gacha is more true like old school gacha where you won't be able to get every character. Even if you're a whale, there's going to be characters that you're missing because it's just RNG, right? There's no raid up banners and stuff like that. But again, like tying it to the progression, at least when you get a character, you can build it, right? If you get, I think Ragdoll's like a broken character there. I actually don't know anything about Summoner's War, by the way. I'm just talking my ass when it comes to the characters. You'd be like, crap, I pulled her. Well, great. Now I can build her immediately. Can I see her yelly? Yeah, sure. Absolutely. This is huge. This is the yelly I'm using for this is not the PvP yelly, because I have to spread out my gear for PvP. PvP yelly's this. Not as optimal, but it's because I have to spread out gear, and this gear goes to Messiah because Messiah needs, well, and also Messiah switches to a crit rate. So yeah, I switch between these two. I'm going to try to improve this because this one has like crit rate, so I can probably mess around with it. Oh, even if you get this Kovian, it's not a guaranteed like consistent safe clear. You need to get this stat, but 5 more speed. When Harvest over Fury, just for PvP. Just for PvP. But yeah, you need to get these stats and 5 more speed. And then it comes down to purely color RNG. That's it. Because sometimes you're just going to be short by like 10%. So yeah. Months away. Yeah, so you have that choice. You can either sit here and just take it up the bum by XD, or you could go play a game that actually values your time, right? That's what the general player is going to be in the position. Yeah. Or new nerfs. Yeah. So that's the thing. You're praying and hoping that they decide to do what they should have done right away when we told them a million times that Rengo is too hard. Instead of waiting, you know, they could have done that right now. They could have literally done that right now. They chose not to. So again, they're reactive. Like it's all optics. They don't actually care about what we say. They wait until we complain. That's why it's like, it's fake. How consistent is the non-Kloss runs? I've seen some Ling, Lily, Valerian, Yelly runs. I don't know. I mean, I could try it. It's just that I'm getting one shot here. So again, this is another... Again, how many times has it been like, if they just nerfed this 10%, at least for me, it would be enough. At least for 10. I have, yeah, it's purely because the voices got too loud. And also because some specific content creators quit because the game was too much for them. I'll just raise this because I need to here. Oh, I didn't even need that. I mean, I'm down to try the Linglo version. Yeah, 180 at one. Yeah, that's fair enough. To be fair, the Linglo may help me because it does fix the silence part of the run, but we'll see. It doesn't mean I'm more reliant on Yelly's defense down, though. What main set should I go on the right side of gear for Giada if I have her at 155, 8 Harvest and Onslaught? Is she on Revelation? If she's on Revelation, then it's like attack percent, crit rate until 100%. And then if you have 100% without needing 2 crit rates, then you go crit damage or attack percent, and it's like not a big difference. So in that case, probably double attack crit rate is better. Because at least in Doki Doki, a lot of her damage is the Revelation. When you go into Aurora, you'll switch over to crit damage. I don't expect them to respond to every single thing the loudest parts of the community make a stink about, but more communication is always good. Yeah, I mean, more communication is always good, that's for sure. Like I said, it's a step in the right direction, but the way they've gone about it is more like the fact that they didn't nerf Ringo. It means that it's, again, like that's the thing, right? If they nerfed the Ringo, I would say yes, devs actually listened, but they didn't listen. They're just reacting. That's all it is. They're seeing the response. They didn't want to make these changes. They actually didn't want to make these changes, like, to be honest. Because if they did, they would have nerfed Ringo. That would have said, yes, we care. We care about what you guys are feeling. The fact that they didn't nerf Ringo says that they are doing it because we're complaining, rather than because they've accepted that it's correct. Because it is correct to nerf these, 100%. But they're just trying to meet us in the middle, instead of just accepting that, like, hey, it's maybe not right. Maybe we were wrong. Because that's the last thing that a Chinese developer would do. They would rather commit seppuku than admit that the players were right. Like, to be honest. Well, can't beat that RNG. Have you tried Codex on Lily for Rengo? You turn faster, but S2 works better on Yelly. I don't think that would be the case, because the issue with my runs was that, like, I would much rather be resetting Yelly and spamming her S3. Pretty much all the runs where it's failing is because she was getting silenced and she wasn't able to S3, and so I was short damage. when she spams S3 as much as possible, the runs are consistent. And that's where it's like, if I had the Kloss, this run's a lot more consistent because then I have a more reliable defense down, and then I'm able to still spam S3. It's just, generally, the problem has been like she's not using S3 as much, because before, why this run wasn't consistent until this week for me is because I didn't have her S3 max. I was at 452. But now that she's 455, and that's purely 100% the ultimate, like, Yelly is way more reliant on her ultimate. That's the thing. Rengo is just more speed, more damage. Yeah, pretty much everyone needs to be around like 195 plus speed for your DPSs if you're running it with like a Lily and stuff. And then you need to make sure that you're moving before the silence dude, pretty much. That's like the only way. I don't have a Lily and finally managed to clear Inferno Terror, Nico Nana, and Shadowflame Honeyant. It's such a great feeling figuring it out. Yeah, I mean, but let me guess, it was Obol. Obol answered 2 of 3 of those. And then the Terramaton was probably like what, Vice and like Detang and tanking it out. I mean, I will admit though, I will gladly give him this. There is always going to be that satisfying feeling of when you figure something out and it works. Like when I figured out the Doki Doki clear that I'm doing now, it was one of those slap my hand on my legs and knees. By golly, I did it, right? I felt so good. I felt like I was the best player ever when I figured it out, and it like worked and it was consistent, and I shared it. I was having a lot of fun with it. The one that I showed off last stream. I felt good. That's true. But is that worth all the other problems that it brings? No, I would not say that the payoff justified the means. Ooh. Obol, Fangus. Terra was Fangus with me, Kachi, Holden, and Valerian. Yeah. Thought so. The Obol right away. Obol is kind of the cheeser for a lot of this. Terra with Fangus. Oh, okay, so you're just tanking it out, Holden and Valerian. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Mia's interesting. No way. There we go. There's the streamer lock. There's 24K worth of stability right there. Press the trash button. And now they're dead. Man, that's crazy. And another 10%. Who am I gonna put this on? Remolcha, probably. Probably Remolcha. Low key, could be Detang. Could be Detang. Nah. Let's get it out of the way. Could be Ashu. Yeah, could be Ashu. Usually that type of shell though, you want to pair with someone who's like who's going to get pushed up, because if they don't have swift raid, they're usually like a little bit too slow. What the stat requirement is for Remoka to one-shot the, I don't know after the nerf, Mr. Moo. It's probably a lot lower after the nerfs, I'll tell you that. Does she have gear? She does. When's the account reviews again? They're probably going to be on Friday, most likely. What the heck's this? The monthly mechanic. Venomous Kiss. At the start, applies 3 stacks of an undispellable toxic mark. When it dies, they immediately transfer to an ally. What the what's that? I wish that I could read the monthly mechanic through here instead of have to be in a battle. We'll read it when we get into like an actual fight, I guess. Oh yeah, let's give me double red. I want like 4 red shadow imprints. Just give it to me. I'm not asking for much. No healers, no honey. I don't know. I need to read it. Loki, doesn't that seem like not as easy, like not as annoying as the stun? Yeah, yeah. Like it's easy, right? The stun actually fucked you up a lot. No. It won't ever get a turn. Alright. To a random ally, when an enemy dies, it's removed. It immediately transfers to a random surviving ally and resets 3 stacks. 5% maximum HP. It adds a stack. When the target's HP is restored to 100%, this effect is removed and 3 stacks are applied. Oh, okay. So this is literally useless. Oboro build showcase when? When I get given enough SR lattice and like resources to raise any character I want, sure. Waiting for post nerf Astarte. Ain't playing with that. Yeah, to be honest, I'm gonna just wait till tomorrow because that's when we'll do Astarte. I'll go all the way up to 42, easy. Like probably my next SR that I'm building is going to be Obol. So I can like use him where everywhere else is. Do you think they will nerf Revelation? Probably not. They probably will wait until after the 80 days and then it'll probably get nerfed. But again, I don't think that they should nerf Revelation. I actually don't. I actually think that it's fine for the game when I thought about it. When I put deep thought into it and I broke it down, I came to the conclusion that it's okay. There's counters to it. There's very clear, direct counters to it. You can draft around it because you do get to see the shells when people are drafting. So you just have to pay attention. It is actually okay. It is fine for the game. If anything, it actually makes it stand out. Like compared to other games, it actually adds an extra level of like depth to the builds and characters. That is nice. That will stand out, right? When you look at it and you see someone that's, oh, they're a Rev abusing account. Well, yeah, but like, remember this. When you decide to build Rev on all those characters, Rev doesn't have Swift Rush, so they are locked into very specific gear, which means their maximum cap on speed and stuff is much, much lower because they have to have 4 pieces of 3 Swift Rush. They only get 1 piece that can be anything at all, which is like, because they need Swift Raid, they have to run Swift Raid, and they have to run triple. So their speed is going to be lower than someone who's just trying to cleave them, which means they're weak to cleavers. Bloodbath players can just build characters with Lighthouse that are going to cut and screw them off because, again, they're capped on speed. They're probably never going to get more than like 300-ish speed. Maybe 310 is the top for like some of the super fast characters. So if you build characters to counter that strategy and you draft for that and you plan ahead, long term, it's not going to be a problem. So Rev is actually fine in the vacuum. It's just cheese right now. It's the same situation with CBT and Marvel, right? That's all it is. Shown super stats because you need count, a ton of crit and effect accuracy, and the battle must last infinite turns. I like her, but she's so weak. She's probably cheesing like some bosses though, and like anti-sync and stuff, which is pretty funny. But yeah, I think like just overall, if she gave like an extra stack or two, or like it would be fine. Like, I think the fact right now that there's people that just build like 8 revs, it's good right now, but in 80 days, is that still going to be the case when everyone's already planned for it and it's like a common part of the meta? Probably not. Hey Shira, how's it going? Have you tried the new game Silver and Blood? No. I actually saw a lot of it on Twitter and stuff and it interested me, but honestly, I haven't even had time to really like play Shadowverse as much as I wanted, so I don't know. I definitely need to like fix my sleep schedule and stuff. So we'll see. Because I need to like go back to making videos as well. Oh man, did I get bugged here? Okay, no, I didn't. So I want to try it, but like I just don't have the time. I'm hoping that now that we're at a point where it's like I am kind of logging in daily and just doing my like stamina on the side more than I am having to like actively check my runs, actively check this and that. I'm hoping that that opens up more time for me to do other stuff, and then I can also like kind of just try to stream it as well. So that's why I'm definitely gonna try like Never to Everness. Silver and Blood I probably won't try though. It has a good story. Oh, my friend Chad played, and he played in the beta and he topped up and he logged back in when the game came out and he was like, oh yeah, I did spend a grand on this game. I was like, yeah, okay, imagine forgetting that you just spent a grand on a game. And then you weren't even going to play until everyone else was playing. That's crazy. Pay left 2 taxes from Linglo S1 or pay last 4 tax on Yelly S1. If you're not farming Aurora, then doing the Yelly tax is probably the better of the two. If you are trying to push into like Aurora specifically, then Linglo tax is better. I got it on PC and even with max settings, the graphics just looked off. I mean, I haven't seen the graphics at all, really. I mean, the characters looked good. Also, this is illegal, man. I hate that we can get all this. Sure. Just gonna one-shot you anyway. Bye-bye. All the free rewards. Please, please, please. Give me the upgrade. Oh, Sag. Give me the upgrade. Okay, I'll take a free imprint. You farmed Artisan for Holden, leveled your max Kazuya skill 1 and Linglo S1 2. Right now, grinding correct except for Emolcha. Good, 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 good. Progress. That's what we like. Can I hit this guy first? When it all comes together, Shira, you'll feel really good though. That's the best part. When everything comes together and it clicks, Yeah, it was worth it. Hey Zeroth, how's it going? Yeah, it resets at the beginning of every month. Or sorry, I guess if you're in the US at the end of every month. Etheria revenue just dropped? Yeah, it makes sense. They took too long. They took too long. Even if they make good changes, you can't be reactive when, mostly if you're coming out during the most, if you come out in June, it's kind of a blessing and a curse for games because it's the best, time revenue wise for new games to launch. But because of that, because it's summer, right? Then you end up risking the fact that there's so much competition, so it's much harder to maintain high revenue. And it's just business wise, right? Because I know in my industry, there's seasons that are really, really good that you want to do launches and stuff. The revenue's out. Oh, I don't even know where to look for that revenue stuff. I'd like to see it. I'm sure they did really, really good for June, actually. But probably the last 2 weeks struggled. But apparently Yelly was really good. Apparently Yelly numbers were really, really good. Which makes sense. She's hot. Show the revenue on stream. If someone has the link, just post it in Discord and then I'll gladly look at it. Easy. Got any ideas about the next LD unit? There are leaks from what I've heard. No comment. No comments. But he does look interesting. But no one knows the kit. Publicly, at least. What role do you think it's going to be? I expect him to be a DPS. Whatever happened to SR Lightning guy? I mean, he's still in the lakes. People are still excited. He has full splash art. He's probably coming. I don't know when they plan to do it, though. But it's very likely that we'll see him. Let's just grab this. Oh, sweet. Okay, MCK. We'll take a look at it in a second here. I'll do it while I'm waiting for the next stage to go through. Let's take a look. Yeah, he got the right hook. Alright, let's take a look at gacha revenues. Okay, can you guys see this? Oh wait, now I gotta move it over a little bit. Gacha revenues. So, Genshin Impact. What happened in Genshin? Be honest with me, guys. What happened with Genshin? It was what character came out? What Gunner character came out that doubled their revenue? Because I don't play that game, man. Skirk? Skirk. What does Skirk look like? Genshin. Oh, shit. No, okay, I understand now. Yeah, no, that's... No, I get it. I get it. Okay, fair. Yeah, okay, fair. I see, I see. I feel you, chat. I feel you, chat. Damn, those heals too. Nice. Okay, okay. Loving Deep Space. Why are we down? Was the new guy an incel or something? I'll just ask Ren. Ren will tell me. Pokemon Pocket. 52. The Eevee expansion not doing that hot. What the heck's this? Seven Knights Rebirth. What is this game? I never seen this game before. Only for mobile? I'm pretty sure it's only for mobile. Well, it's estimates, right? Like what is this game? Seven Knights. Sorry, let me look this up. Seven Knights Rebirth. It's a Netmarble game. Okay, it's trash then. Really, this game looks garbage. I'm gonna be honest. This game looks garbage. It's a remake? Okay. Well, the game, I'm going to be honest, I'm looking at the pictures for the preview and it looks terrible. I'm so surprised it made 40 million. 40 million? That's crazy. You guys want to sponsor me and I'll make a gacha game? I'll return good on your investment, I promise. I just need like $3 million of startup money. Close to the oh, true, Cyberpunk collab. Ooh, I may have to come back for that. 39 million, though. Up. Okay, that's cool. Zenless Zone Zero? Man, wait, 10 million? Well, isn't 10 million during the Yujuan banner? I mean, bro, the tiger lovers. I'm not gonna lie though, she's cute. The tiger chick is cute. Yeah. Naruto, not a surprise. Fake Grand Order. Goddess of Nikki. Up by a slight margin. They're still hanging on. What's this game? I'm not even gonna, SD Gundam. Oh, it's Gundam. Oh, this was the launch, right? 42 million. Okay. It's not bad. Shadowverse Worlds Beyond. 17 million. Now, to be fair, this is actually kind of crazy that they made 17 million because they made the website really, really, really beneficial to buy from. And the game is now a lot more played on PC outside of like Japan. So 17 million purely on like mobile like expectations. This is actually much, much bigger. This is probably like in reality, when you take like PC clients up here, probably up around Naruto mobile area at least. But again, Naruto mobile is only like CN, like easily. Maybe probably around like Zenless Zone Zero mobile, because again, Zenless Zone Zero probably is more PC as well. Dragon Ball Legends, cool. Light and Night, don't really care about these games. Monster Strike, Umemu, 10 million and then 11 million. Crazy. This game's making this much money and it's just a redo. Cookie Run Kingdom falling off. One Piece up. Okay, I guess they probably dropped some new Luffy banner or some like, what's her name? What, Nami banner? Gundam is the GOAT. Yeah, I mean, there's like, I'm not into Gundams, but I know the people that are into Gundams are into Gundams. Like, and it's actually kind of a cool community, I'm not gonna lie. Puzzle and Dragons, yeah, that game's dead. Arknights, okay, this is them saying, hey, we don't care about Arknights anymore. Go play Arknights Enfield. We don't care. So, the Battle Cats, okay. Etheria restart, 7 million. Oh shit, we're end of service. Fuck. We're end of service, guys. It's over. Only 7 million on launch? That's actually kind of low. All right, pack it up. We're getting ready for NTE, guys. this game's a sinking ship. Let's get out of it. Nah, 7 million, mostly because I feel like this game is trash on mobile. If I'm gonna be real for a second, right? I think, like, be honest with me. How many of you guys actually play on mobile? And when I mean play, I mean you do Ember Track stages, like the one I'm on now, where you're moving around, that you did the story. Did you actually do all the story and the movement? Because I'm gonna be honest, playing on this game on mobile, I hated it. I couldn't. I would not. The only time I'd play on mobile is if I was not, like, if I was forced to, like I was at work, but I would never, ever, ever buy anything on there because it just wasn't worth it. I would go to the web shop anyway, which this is not tracking. And also, there's not, to be fair, yeah, I think you agree, there's not enough packs to buy. I have a lot of money invested in this game, and I have a lot more that I'm willing to spend on this game. But yeah, I mean, I'm probably not, like, I can't whale anymore. But here's a blessing in disguise for my fellow whales, for my relatable players, the whales. Because remember, F the free to plays, the whales. This is a sign that we will get more packs, which is good. Give me stability packs. Give me more stability packs. So, I mean, 7 million is actually quite low. I'm going to be honest. This probably means that they need to increase the numbers. But did this actually, like, Eating Guild free to play or leechers? Thank you, MCK. You understand. Release good summer skins and not recolors? Yes. I think if they released better skins, they would make more money for sure. Like actual skins. Unlimited refresh with gems would be a good money sink. Yes, but it would ruin the game's economy for sure. They designed the game not to allow that, but they could sell packs that are like stability pots and it would probably be a more fair game, which would be the same thing. Like, even if it was like $5 for one stability pack, bro, I would bankrupt myself. Give me level up packs, shadow prints are hard to come by. Yeah, just make level up packs level 55 all the way to 100. I agree. Hopefully add another skin for Holden. These Holden Sims, man. You girls are wild for that guy. I have no idea, man. I don't know what he has. Oh, actually I do. His abs are insane. I don't blame you. Yeah, so Etheria restart. Okay. And this is combined. Oh, you know what? Actually, this number isn't that bad because you know what I forgot? There's no CN yet. Every other game above here has CN, I'm pretty sure. And CN is the largest market. But you know who we beat? We beat Summoner's War. And this is just global. So we beat Summoner's War. So who's really end of service? It may only be by 4,000, but we don't need to talk about the specifics. We won. We won. GG. All right, Etheria. Nice. We'll look through the rest here. Summoner's War. Okay. Reverse 99 is end of service. Yeah. Jujutsu Kaisen. Okay, fair enough. I'm surprised the Netmarble game is doing so poorly. 7 Deadly Sins. I'm surprised this thing's alive. This thing. So when I started Scarlet, like playing with Scarlet, it was back when like JP Epic 7 server and 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross came out, and that's where everyone jumped ship to. And that was like 7 years ago. Is there SLA on the list? Wait, what's SLA stand for? And so many of them need proxy to top up for the game. When CN server launches, the revenue will come. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's huge. Oh, solo leveling collab? Solo leveling on here? No, it's not on here. So it's going to be lower on the list, probably. Let's see. What else do we got here? We have Azurlane. This is fine. Azurlane, like, honestly, I don't even think Azurlane devs give a shit about their revenue right now, because when Azur Premilia drops, I'm sorry guys, I'm not playing ER for like a week on stream. We're only playing Azur Premilia. I don't give a shit. That game is going to be the next big gacha game. Like, dead ass. That game will truly change everything. So like that will be a GG end of service every other game for a week or two. That will be the next like big one that people are going to fight over the streets about like it was Wuthering Waves. So I don't think they give a shit about their numbers here. They're like, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We're more focused on the game that's going to bring us in like billions. So Beyond the World, what's this? It literally did not change at all, the estimates. That's crazy. One Piece Treasure Cruise. Okay, another. Well, there's so many One Piece games, bro. Like, Let Me Marry My Ships. What's it called again? Azure Promelia. It's going to be like, so if you saw like how HoYoverse is introducing, they're going to make a game that's probably going to compete with it 1-to-1. And I really hope that they speed run the launch of it because I want to see them compete because it will be crazy. But it's kind of like a, it's open world and you go through and it's like POW World in a sense, right? POW World, but gotcha. Brown Dust 2. Yo, I'm going to be honest. I saw the Brown Dust 2 changes. I don't play the game, but I follow it from the Twitter side for research purposes, obviously. 100% only research. And it's wild. It is wild what they're dropping there. So, you know what? Brown Dust 2 players, I respect you, man. I've seen the launcher just for updating. That, I don't know how you play that stuff. If you play that on the phone, on the train or bus, you're a fucking trooper. You're a fucking trooper, man. Ensemble Stars. Oh, I mean, this is fine revenue for where this game is. Blue Archives. Yo, did they release a hag? Is that why? Is that what the community says? Be honest with me. How many of you guys are Blue Archive players? Because like just out yourself now, and then I'll just ban you, and then we can just like, at least we'll understand context with your ban. And we'll just get out of the way now. Infinity Nikki. Yeah, I mean, this game is doomed after I saw a video about this. They're cooked. Dragon Ball Z game number 2084, down revenue. Who, what a surprise. Probably didn't introduce another Vegeta or Goku. Master Duel is still alive somehow. My brother plays this game. He loves this game. I don't know why. Memento Mori. Okay, don't know what this is. Disney Tool. What the fuck is this? One Piece, another One Piece game. Is this the new one? Interesting. Tokyo Debunker, Girlfriend. Jude. Girlfriend Night 2 is actually end of service. Like, actually end of service. AFK Journey, also end of service. Silver and Blood. I mean, this literally is like, what, 3-4 days of revenue? Man, that's pretty good for 3 or 4 days of revenue, not gonna lie. Heavens Burn Red. This game was actually really fun. And I also bought the Weiss set for it. And then sold it immediately because then I stopped playing Weiss. So rip. AFK Arena. Actually, can you see the bottom of this list? I don't think you can for the bottom of this list. Boom. Yeah, I have to bring it up. Here it is. Here it is, by the way. The person who was saying solo leveling arise. It's the bottom of the list. 2 million. End of service. Bye-bye. Fire Emblem Heroes. This game's old, so the fact that it's still sitting at like 2-3 million, like, that's fine. Wait, where's Epic 7? Epic 7 isn't even on here. Is there a bigger list? That's it. Epic 7 is literally not on here. Which means that they are estimated to be making less than like Bang Dream Girls and Party. Actual end of service. EO7S. It's over. Etheria killed Epic 7. They are not even tiered. Hey, XD. And that was on, yeah, you're right. That was on their 7th anniversary as well, which should have been big. maybe the numbers will reflect through in July, but because they're dropping the new Tenebria and everything. So that's fair. Maybe just last month was a fluke. Maybe it was just because it was the warm-up month. Because this month of July, I've seen the changes. Like, I'm not playing the game really anymore, but I would say that this is probably their one big month. So if I don't see them up here in like the 4 or 5 millions at least, I'd actually be worried for that game, because that would say that Etheria actually had a pretty big gut punch. 3 million based on Gacha Tracker for E7. Then why isn't that on here? No re-rolling on Silver and Blood was a dick move. Can you not re-roll in that game? I have no idea. That's wild. So, TLDR is Epic 7, end of service. Silver and Blood, pretty good for 2-3 days of like actual revenue. All these other games are end of service here, and Etheria Restart is doomed. GG. And Shadowverse Worlds Beyond is perfectly fine, according to the stats. So those Steam reviews are bullshit, apparently. So, yeah. You can delete your account, but you have to wait 1 month. The fuck? Yeah, and Ume Muse did better than Epic 7. Okay. GG. GG. Wonder what the Persona 5X will be on the top 50 list. Oh, that's true. Persona. Actually, wait. Because Persona's been out about the same amount as Silver and Blood, right? Etheria was on the list. Etheria was... where are we? Etheria Restart was on here. Where is it? Crap, now I can't find it. But it was on there. It was like 7 million. Yeah, it was 7 million. It was number 22. Persona 5 is 1 million to 3.6. Yeah, that's about right. That's pretty good. That's pretty good because actually no, that's really good because that is further. Oh wait, I have to go all the way back for that chest. That's like more than what was expected. So the Persona 5 game looks fun. I want to try it, but again, like I just have not had time to like do anything in that. But we'll see. Yeah, it only just released, so. Yes, we got a shadow print. Thank you. I need these. I need these, man. Still waiting for a Nata release. Oh yeah, I don't think that's gonna get released this year though. That's probably gonna be 2026. To be honest, this year is just never to Everness, and then like next year is probably gonna be the big year because that's expected to be the new Hoyo game and Azure Primalia. And then we'll see. I've talked to people that are kind of more in the know with like those timelines of the spaces. We actually had this kind of come up in like a conversation, and it was most people are expecting like Anata to be 2026 end of year or start of 2027. E7 has gone the Gunnar route for a while, and I'm here for it. I said the same thing actually. I was like, they really brought out everything. All the swimsuit skins, Tummy on what's her name? So on Tenebria. Yeah, the new Tenebria. Yeah. The winner of Etheria World Summit receives 10K. Yeah, but to be honest, you're actually just playing it because you get the paid like flight and accommodation and stuff to Shanghai. So it's more about the experience than it is like actually the reward. If you're playing for the money, it's probably bad because you probably spent like I mean, you probably get back your investment times 2 because, like, to be honest, most of the whales have only spent like 4 to 6K. Like, that's roughly where a lot of the whales are because there's not as much to whale on. So it's not like that bad, actually. It's not like E7 where like you win maybe like 20 or 50K, but you spent easily 100K, to be honest. I still can't believe Ume Muse revenue. It's like, what the fuck are they doing there? Watching girls run? It's just the fact that it's been out for so long. Like, you could have played like fan translated versions of it too. I got bored playing Black Beacon. All I know about Black Beacon is that they made everyone pissed somehow, and I don't know how. Like, they launched and then right away they had some problem. I played the game like at the start because I was like interested and I wanted to play something on the phone while I was waiting for ER. And then I don't even remember like the game really. It was just it just felt like it started again and the story took too long at the start. I don't know. I wasn't in the mood to do another big thing. You still somehow skipped one of the messages. Where's my Shadow Sonya? I've been promised. Listen, Freaky. You have to actually upgrade to the new $20 a month tier YouTube Premium membership for me to get that Shadow Sonya. I didn't make the rules. ER actually made it. So I told them it was probably not going to go down well, but listen, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Connection issues. Oh. But why, like, they can just improve the server. Like, it is what it is. How's it going, Kyoya? What's the build matrix for Yelly? Build matrix for Yelly. It's going good, by the way, but it's pretty much just Keen Eye, and then for PvP Harvest, PvE Fury with Fury Edge for PvE / Swift Raid. Either works. Cannot log in on the game. Makes players hardly pissed off. Yeah, I mean, but at the end of the day, not even register. Oh, okay, that's pretty bad. I was gonna say, like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, server issues are server issues. You can't really do anything about it. What's the origin behind the username? Pretty much it's just the username Kyoya has always been something that I've used when I was like a kid, because I liked Beyblade. And there's this guy who I thought was the coolest shit ever with like the lion Beyblade named Kyoya. And then Fuyu is just winter. It's just the Japanese word for winter, because most people do it. Like, they'll just have like the name. Let it rip. Cosmic level. Honestly, Beyblade was the shit. Let's be real here. Final verdict on Yelly. If you're a whale, 100% pick her up. If you're a cleaver, 100% pick her up. If you are slow and you are not able to 455 her, don't pick her up. That's my opinion on Yelly. I only go for Yelly because one shot on perma banner. I mean, if you hit, you hit. Yelly deals, yeah, she's a really good like DPS. She's kind of in the same boat though as like Messiah. Where it's like, obviously the character is good, but you need to have a specific account to take advantage of it. Messiah or Yelly for normal PvP defense? To be honest, it's Messiah still. But to be honest, it's just whoever you have geared at the time, because a lot of the time you're sharing the gear with them. see. Grab all this. He's at level 4. Do you max it? I don't even remember what his S1 does. Yeah, I mean, you may as well max it. Finally, I found the Sultan mail I use. Oh. Yeah, see, that's the only problem with Sultan mails, right? If you forget which number it is, you're screwed. Mostly if you had to do a lot of rerolls. You only have 4 gold tofus right now. Who's a better investment, Yelly or Rosa? Or Giada? I mean, what content are you clearing right now? That's the real question. Because if you're struggling with Doki Doki, then just starting to build up the Giada on her S3, that would be good. But if you could already do Doki Doki Inferno and stuff, then it's probably better to go into Yelly, because Yelly I think is a better overall investment for an account than Rosa. Am I missing something? Oh, you have to go through here. What is the skill priority for Viper? It's S2 and then S3. Yo, Insane Tech, thank you so much. Welcome to the goats. Thank you, thank you. One of us. One of us. Only not on Inferno, on Aurora, Sharon, and Rengotsuku. Oh, then Yelly for sure. Do her S3 for now. And then you need to finish it off. It's not going to immediately enter you in there. She needs to be 5, 5, 4 in S3, S2, S1. So, but that's fine. Just do that. I can't buy the membership? What do you mean you can't buy the membership? Is it because of YouTube? I think it is restricted in some countries, right? Oh, actually, you know what I just realized? For that revenue, that probably doesn't include the rebate. So 7 million is kind of crazy because a lot of that big money was during the rebate. So that means that the game came out, the whales had already whaled, and they still made projectively expected made 7 million. I have Lily S1. Do I go S2 next or Kloss S3? Neither, actually. So you only need, oh, actually, sorry, Lily, not Linglo. Yeah, S2 on Lily for sure. You don't need to do anything for Kloss, by the way. There's no reason to ever skill up Kloss right now. If you are to skill up Kloss ever, it would be for PvP and be S1. Yeah, correct. And it's not considering PC. It's only considering phones. Yeah. So they did very, very well. Despite the fact that you cannot do it. Even for Inferno Rengoku, I have not done anything for like Rengoku Inferno for my Kloss. She is still 111. She will forever be 111. Because I don't see myself needing to get her to be super fast. She tends to be a bridge character where she doesn't need to be the fastest. Can we expect a Summer Yelly right? A Summer Yelly skin? Dude, I would pay so much money for that. It says I need to change my Google Play settings to match the country I live in. Ah, all good. Don't worry about it. If you can, Zareth. You know what they say, it's the thought that counts. Can you slide a slip to the devs for a Summer Yelly skin? Bro, if I could tell them to do that, you bet I would be saying Summer Rosa, Summer Yelly, Summer Lily for fun. You know what? And Summer Valerian. This entire team, besides Mio. Easy. Summer Veronica? Bro, she's already, like, she has nothing on already. How much more do we need to take off Veronica before you're happy? You degenerate. You need to be in jail for the... Bro, but like, come on. You gotta balance it out. At least I said no to the Mio, you know? Yeah. Man, you guys are wild. My Yelly for Rengotsuku? Yeah, I can show the clear after this. Summer Andrew, Pog. Gigapog. Up with that guy. Where's the Summer Vice skin, though? Let's be real here, guys. So close. Your idea? No, listen, buddy. It's all my idea. Always has been. Any collabs with bigger creators planned? Gotta get on with Vulcan like Sean B. So right now, I haven't followed up on it, but I was gonna do something with I Summon. And then I was also going to... So this weekend, there is the weekly tournament that Tamias and Vulcan run. That I think it was like last week. It's where they take like the best guilds. And it's really awkward. So pretty much I'm going to be fighting my own guild because I'll be joining the creators this week. So that will be on, I think it's Tamias or Vulcan's channel. So that weekly PvP tournament, if you guys watch that, I will be on the creator team for that. Which looks really sus. Because the guild is Scarlet. So I've been telling them that we need to do account reviews, but only for the 3 people that are participating for Scarlet's side. Just so I can, like, you know. Battle occurred? What? The fuck? Huh? Huh? The fuck is this? Oh my god, dude. Actual indie developers, man. And it counts as a defeat? Actual scammed. Actually scammed. I need compensation right now. I need compensation right now. Where's my gems, bro? That actually... You saw me beat it. And it counted as a defeat. That's wild. That is wild. It could have been. I deserve compensation. They should let me pick a shell of my choice. Nah, bro, that's actually illegal. I mean, this has been okay. I don't know how big of a difference this has been compared to Kloss, to be honest. But it's okay. It's okay, for sure. Can't beat the dark start. Can't beat the dark start, man. That dark start screws me over every single time. There's nothing I can do against it. If it starts dark, even though I have Valerian, it's just GG. Is this more stable than the Claustron? It's been about the same, I would say. Bro. They need to nerf this shit. You just gotta jinx it, man, every time. For the shell story, event priority is at lattice fragment right from Wish. Yeah, it's lattice fragment. So what you should be doing, if you want to be honest, is you should actually wait. So tomorrow's the last day for this. So there's 1 day left, which before the reset. So you should actually aim for these revelation orbs or to try to get past the start as many times as you can. This way you get as many of these as possible, and then you click Wish, and then you can do the lattice fragment. I was stupid. I missed this because I miscounted. So yeah, that's pretty much the goal. And you try to use the these dice right here to land on this guy and the lion. Those are the best. Yeah, but our teaser only comes once, so I used him. But that is the goal. Okay, let's go back into the Ember Track, man. We got Apate, this guy, her, and her. And you can land on the greens to land on another green? Yes, correct. So you could do that as well. Yeah, if you have 13G, you're going to get so many lattice fragments. It's pretty nice. Sure. Sure. Doesn't matter. Like, I think next time it comes around, I'll probably do that strat, which is just constant green, green, green. Get all the dice, keep rolling as far as I can. For the shop, all in on Shadowprint after Purple Lattice. You can't get both Shadowprint and the Purple Lattice, I think, unless you get really lucky. Like, you have to choose. Pretty much every time there's an event. Right now, there's not enough currency, so you have to choose between one or the other. Right now, because I'm a whale, I choose the Shadow Imprint. But most of the time, if you're a free-to-play, you're going to have to choose, or a Light Spender, you're going to have to choose the Lattice, because you're going to need more SR units. My Yelly is on Fury, Kenai, Fury Edge. But to be honest, this should probably be Swift Raid. Do you use Silence or Opal and Shadowflame Hoyan? I use Silence, but you can use Opal. He just needs to be 250 speed. Yeah, so you should choose, yeah. I mean, if you can get both, then you definitely get both. But I did the stability first, then I got the shadow print because I don't care about the lattice. Grab that. Every time I see a dragon, I light up and I'm like, wow. Surprised you're still streaming? Yeah, I mean, I'll probably go for like a little bit longer. A little bit longer because I still have work tomorrow. I'm kind of cooked though, but I did sleep for much longer than I anticipated, so. So we're buying max arena tickets for arena daily. Right now it is because you can try to get to mythic. And generally how one of my guildies explained it like this: when you're trading hydro crystals for Etheria coin, which Etheria coin is very, very like hard to come by. So honestly, it's kind of worth, because you can just buy the Etheria coin from the shop, and that's kind of worth. Isn't previous summer track contain SR/SSR summon as well? It's gone now. It is. It's on Fabian. It's on Fabian floor. I close to reach Mythic on last season. Yeah, you definitely want to try to push for Mythic every season. What's my job? Operations manager. Very boring job. Edit journal. A very boring job. Is there anything there? There's not. Boom. Let's grab that. Okay. Give me this. Oh? Well, definitely give me this. 400 crystals. I don't care about that. Just like in game, you see if the runs... Wait, what? Just like in game, you see if the runs run smoothly. Does it pay good? Yeah, it pays very good. That's why I can spend like $4,000 on this game. It's boring as fuck though. I won't lie. A lot of the time, my job is not even doing my job. It's just having people ask me questions about how our fucking system work. And then I have to explain our processes over and over again to the same people who've been there for like a million years. Or like, this is how we've been doing it. And I go, yeah, that sucks. Let's fix that. I got Remultra on my free to play with S3 Max. Is it worth investing into Solence as Revelation DPS? I just got Bjorn. Definitely between those two, I would say that Solence is pretty good because she can build her as a Revelation DPS and she's good for Shadowflame Hoyan later on. If Marvel skill 1 is max and Mio skill 1 didn't level up yet, Marvel will be faster than her? Yeah, Marvel will be faster than her with the skill ups. And I don't look forward to doing this chick again, even at... Yeah, she didn't get nerfed. It was a Starte. So I do not look forward to doing this chick. Oh, you found the slacker, Shira? Nice. Yeah, Andy, I was like, wait, what? I'm missing some context here. One Moonlight Summon. Hog. You say Kenai is BIS for Yelly? Yeah, for pretty much all DPSs, Kenai is BIS. Like, generally, because Momentum's only good in PvE, but Kenai is fine in PvE and good in PvP. So, generally, I would almost always want to build a Kenai right now, because the only time I'm going to build Momentum, like, in reality, is when I'm, like, hyper-focused on making, like, one-shot comps for PvE, which is, like, I'm not doing that right now, man. Just kind of rough resource-wise to try to focus on that. Let's see. For my Holden Shell, I can go defense percent, speed, and gaze. Wait, what's gaze? I mean, usually it's crit rate. Wait, Holden Shell. Oh, gaze. Wait, what's gaze? Oh, accuracy. Oh. To be honest, yeah, it should be speed. It should be defense. And I would say it's probably the reason damage for the last slot. Unless you're, I mean, for PvE wise, yeah, the accuracy's fine, but he has enough accuracy. You don't really need to worry about that. Got you out of S2 and S3 max on my main. Do you think I should swap Yelly instead of Giada? Giada is like definitely like your PvE goat, but there's a lot of content where Yelly just does what she can do, but better. I think if you have Lily, Yelly is worth investing into. I would 4-5-5 her. What is the best set right side for Giada? It's like, for Doki Doki, it's attack crit rate. If it's outside of Doki Doki, it's crit rate, crit damage, and then the last slot, crit damage or attack percent. It just comes down to whatever your best subs are for that last one. Like you can, but yeah. Wilson, you can definitely buy you can definitely build up Yelly for sure. Spent my free-to-play life savings on Yelly. Time to find every lattice source. Yes, 4-5-5. Nice, Shira. Nice. You're winning. You're a winner. We only have winners in this chat. Yelly and Messiah. Who would you pick? Probably Messiah still. I think Messiah's just generally safer to build as well. He's more flexible. And he's better in PvP generally. Like, pairing, like, if I had to pick who I'm pairing with Lily is the way that I look at it. And the person who I want to pair with Lily more is Messiah. Like, Yelly isn't that great on defense. Like, she's just not going to be good on defense. The way that you make Yelly good on defense is you pair her with Suki. That's about it. If you had to choose, thank you for the stats, do I just go with one with the best substats? Yeah, always just go with the one with the best substats. That's generally going to get you the best stat combination. Momentum Fury or Kenai Fury for Ramocha. So PvE wise, Momentum is always going to be better if you can upkeep the debuffs. If you can't upkeep the debuffs, then Kenai is always better. For PvP wise, Kenai Fury is always going to be better because you're not going to be able to upkeep the debuffs. Only missing Tiamat and Mia Is one a must pick, or I just keep my selection until I really need one or the other? Yeah, I'd say keep it until you need one or the other, because you're probably not going to be building either of those characters for a while. Unless you're a tank account, then I think that Tiamat's really good for you. But that means like you have to have like a really, like, you already have a really broken Amber for her. You already have the set for her. It's one of those things where it's like you just have the stuff, so you build her. But Mia is like okay, but you may need her later. Just see how you can go without her. She's more of a luxury than a requirement. Any way to clear Tarot Inferno without dot? I mean, to be honest, at this point, it's really just having a good Dating. Like Dating, Freya, Valerian, Holden, that type of team, and like tank it out. Generally is like good now after the nerf. Yo, let me hit this guy. What would be the best matrix layout for Tiamat? It's like an Amber build. I forget what the Amber build is off the top of my head. I'd have to look at Amber's matrices to figure out what it was. The Hoyan team, I'm pretty sure she needs to be like 515, if I remember correctly, or something like that. Like, she's very high investment, the Hoyan. Yeah, it's definitely Bloodbath. That's for sure. Bloodbath is in there. Once I'm done here, I will hop out and quickly do it. Quickly double check what it was. What I actually need to do when I get time is I need to sit down and just write like a spreadsheet of what the ideal build is for every character, or builds. Because there's so in ZZZ, what they do is they have this really nice pretty spreadsheet that shows you like how you should build your characters, the teams they're good in. I don't think I can do that extent, but I would like do that. I probably can't make it as pretty as them though, but what's your matrix set for Lily? Lily, you just need speed. That's it. Everything else does not matter for her. It literally just does not matter for her besides the speed. Like, if you can get more speed on Swift Raid, then you run Swift Raid. If you get more speed on Swift Smite, you run Swift Smite. That's it. And then it's just Swift Rush. 3 slots for that, because you'd want that with the Swift Rush. Yeah, Swift Rush shell. And then from there, it's just getting speed on the last slot. It doesn't matter. You don't really care about your second set. You only care about the 2 speed sets. Unbreakable, Swift Rush, Strive, Bramble, Time Weave, Bloodbath, Colossal Guard, Swift Smite is on Amber. So in that case, I would say it's probably going to be Swift Rush. Well, no, it's Bramble, Bloodbath, and Colossal Guard. But you could technically also go Swift Smite, so you have a little bit of speed. So it doesn't matter for the 6-piece, just whatever one that you can build that has like HP percentage and some substat, like speed substats, would be the best. Probably Swift Smite's better, to be honest, though. Why sometimes my Marvel can't push back Lily? It would be effect accuracy, or the Lily has Bulwark, or something like that. We farmed a lot of Aurora. I spent 1 day in Aurora, so not much at all. I got pretty lucky with some gear, though. I have really good Bulwark sets. I spent a few pots there, but yeah. If you equip a Time Weave on a champ, does it only count for her CD reduction or for anyone on the team if it procs? It's only for their... Yeah, it's only for their own. Yeah, let's just do this. Most of my time in Doki and Nico Inferno. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is like at some point, like everyone has to choose which one they're farming the most of. And right now for me, I'm prioritizing Doki and, well, Rengoku right now, and then eventually it's going to go back to Hoyan. Because that's where it's like you need to figure out what your account is, right? If you want to go and build like really good sustains and like turn 2 characters like Rahu, Tiamat, Holden, then you're gonna sit in Aurora, and then you're also gonna sit in Shadowflame Hoyan and Rengoku, right? Generally, Shadowflame Hoyan and Rengoku is where most people are gonna be spending their time early on, because they just have the best PvP shells. If you're trying to be a controller, you're probably gonna spend a lot more time in Sharon, though, because you want Halloweens. So there's that as well. And putting like Halloween on stuff. Wow, this is feeling very inconsistent compared to the Kloss team. But we'll keep going. I don't care. It's in the background. But yeah, I would say Doki is definitely like the safest one to go and spend your time in. But if you're lacking DPS, then I think that you do need to sit in Termaton for a little bit. Generally, most accounts, it's just looking at like what is it that you're missing to do the next thing and going and focusing there, or seeing what are you missing the most of, right? Because there was a point where when I did Aurora, I had 0 bulwark sets. I had 0 bulwark sets. I didn't even have a bloodbath set. So I said, I'll farm until I have 1 of those. And then I ended up having like 2, 3 bulwark sets that are really good. And I got like 1.5 good bloodbath set. So I'm at a point where like me finding new upgrades, they're very low. They're not high enough in terms of like the return to sit there, because at that point I'm farming specifically for that. And as a cleave account, or an account that's trying to be a cleave account specifically is a better term, I'm not going to get the value out of farming that, right? So there's that. How do you figure out what type of account you have? So you choose that, to be honest. You choose that. You choose what type of account you want to build. If you are playing a Giada account, you can choose either routes. But to be honest, if you're playing Giada, you get rewarded for building Doki Doki, which means that you lean closer to a turn 2 account, because Doki Doki is very good in turn 2 accounts, because she pretty much is your way to answer becoming immune to CC. So that's one thing, right? If you built you chose the bricked account routes. Crazy. If you built Messiah and Yelly like I am, right, where you have these really cracked ones, you are rewarded for sitting in Doki Doki and farming for cleave, because the faster you get, the better you are, because the moment they move, I win, right? Like me building Suki is super high priority. So the only time so there's literally no reason for me to do anything besides sit in Doki Doki. And then there's also accounts where you're like, oh, I'm just going to spam Rev. So generally most accounts are going to spend their time in Doki Doki or Aurora. Those are like the 2 places where you're going to spend your time. The only time you're touching Termaton is when you are trying to build your next DPS. That's it. What do you mean by cleave? I mean like just characters that are able to one-shot. Like cleave is just when you try to be turn 1. So generally there's cleave, which is turn 1, which means that you want to go first. You want to be as fast as possible. There's tank down players, which those players are drafting really good tanks and they're playing for turn 2. So they're known as turn 2 players. They're just accepting that you're going to go before them. They'll maybe speed contest you with some characters, but generally they've accepted that they're going to go second. They're going to survive, and then they're going to kill you on the clapback. That's turn 2. Then there's standard. So standard players tend to try to build their account to be a okay across the board, and they generally try to build an option for every matchup, which sounds like it's the best option, and it is, but the problem is that you spread your resources really thin. So if you're a standard account and building to be a standard account, which is safer, then yeah, you'll be rewarded, because you're probably going to have the Holden with the bloodbath, you're going to have the Rahu with the bloodbath, you're going to have both options for tank down or cleave, and you're just going to go, oh, I know this guy's player, because when you get to the top ranks, everyone's going to know each other. There's going to be spreadsheets on what people are playing. There's going to be everyone knowing this guy's a cleaver, so you're going to go, oh, okay, I'm just going to turn around and this guy's faster than me. I know he has a 340 speed on like 3 characters. I can't beat that, so I'm going to draft right from the start, like tank down. And then there's people who commit to one side, and they're probably going to be faster, right? The guy who says, well, I have 3 characters that are 340 speed, I'm a cleaver, so I'm going to build up my Messiah and Yelly. But the issue is I play against someone who's a really good tank down player, then I'm probably going to lose because they probably have all these bloodbaths and I'm never going to kill, right? And I just accept my loss versus them. While there's going to be people who are standard who are going to go, well, I can't survive the cleaver, so I just accept it. Then there's Harsetti players. Yeah, when Harsetti comes to this game, it'd be crazy. That changes everything. Was going 6-star with Valerian worth it for you? Yeah, absolutely. I'd say the two best things that I did on my account. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. So where did I leave off? Be honest with me, guys. Because I was just talking. And it was doomed. Best two things on my account. The best two things on my account that I did was Linglo S1 and 6-starring my healers. Those were easily the two best things that I did on my account. Yo, can this guy turn? Holy. And there's nowhere to hide on that. So just have to wait. But yeah, easily those were like the two best things that I did on the account. Like I would do that 100% of the time. Yeah, my Linglo's on Supernova. Which is like really good for PvE. Yeah, there's like nowhere to hide on here. You are just stuck. You are just stuck. Supernova or Fortismo? I mean, Supernova is fine, but Fortismo is really good for Linglo for PvP because that has Bloodbath. Like, I really want to build like a Bloodbath, Swift Rush, or Strive Linglo with Evil Guard. Like, I want to build that because that's what I want my Linglo to be for PvP. So this way I can like be a standard account eventually. Is time weave good on Linglo? I mean, it's okay, but most of the time, like, you don't need it, to be honest. Which SR unit you skill up? So right now on my accounts, wait, bro, I'm not gonna need any gems. Right now, the SRs that I skilled up are Ting, Kazuya. This was just for my run. Honestly, like, you don't need to skill this up. I have Valerian S3. I have Kachi just up to level 3, but to be honest, this probably needs to be level 5 when I go back into other content. 5-5 on the S2 and S3 of Viper. Fangus, this guy I regret doing because I think that you only need to do him if you don't have Shadow Sonya. If you do have Shadow Sonya, you don't need this. So if I could reset, I'd reset him because I want to raise this guy's S1 up. That's about it, and I want to finish this. So this is what I want to do, but I haven't done it yet. And then I also want to do Obol. Obol S3 is also what I want to do. Did we get a good sleep? Yeah, we did. We did get a good sleep. That's for sure. Holy crap. Okay. Yeah, this team is in it. We're gonna switch back to Kloss after. I should match Fangus which skill first? S2 and then his S1. And then you don't need to do anything on his S3. Marvel is worth the skill up. For PvP he is. You don't use him for PvE. Marvel is like purely PvP at this point. Let's just do these two. Sure, we'll do these 3 because we're still outspeeding. 6-star Kazu, yeah, you need, that's a tax. That's a tax on the account. Because you need that for Doki Doki Inferno. Is it Marvel or Mio? Are they the same role? They're the same role. Pretty much, you do want to raise both of them because they kind of are like, when you draft two of them, they can only ban one, right? So you're kind of in that position where it's like, okay, cool. If they let me pick that. It's the same thing as why you want to build both Suki and Lily, because they're the same character. And in an RTA mode, pairs are everything. It's the same reason why having both Yelly and Messiah are really good, because you're getting the same thing. The same way, like now there's 4 characters that you can draft for Cleave, which is crazy, right? You have Messiah, you have Yelly, you have Rosa, and you have Remolcha. So they all kind of fill the same role. So it's really hard to ban out the DPS. All you can really do is try to contest their supports. And then Marvel and Mio are the same, and then you have Yelly and Suki. And then for your like secondary DPSs, you have Freya because of Rev, Solence because of Rev, and then Heinrich because Heinrich. Is Yelly worth pulling without Lily? No. Because you would not be a Cleave account. I think if you don't have Yelly, she's a skip. Like, that's a pretty straight one. What's the Hein build? There's 3 Hein builds. There's the Revelation one, but it's much harder to do, where you want to do them on Revelation. You run 4 pieces of Swift Raid. Of Swift Rush with Swift Raid. And then for the last slot, it doesn't really matter. It, like, preferably if you have a usable substat, like a subset for him on the Revelation, like Harvest, that would be the best, but it doesn't really matter. It's just... And then you just build him speed and a bit of effect accuracy. You put him on like attack percent, speed, and then insight. This way you can build in full damage on the right side pieces and just let insight be his effect accuracy. Worth to pull Yelly if you already have Messiah? Yes, because they are pretty much like you're getting a second copy of that character for PvP. So this way, when they, you know, pre-ban Messiah, you're like, okay, cool, I still have Yelly. If they let you draft both of them and you don't have to waste your... Like, you don't have to waste your ban protection on Messiah, right? You can instead use your ban protection on someone like a Suki or a Mio or a Marvel or a Lily, you know, these type of things. Would Jelly work with Suki? Yes, for PvP she would. Honestly, for PvP, like, you guys are going to start to see, as we start to get actual guildies, like, I can say this because there's nothing you can do about it. It just becomes a speed check. The common defenses you're going to see in Guild Wars, at least, will be like Lily Messiah plus someone. There will be Suki Yelly. Those will be like the 2 most common type of compositions that you're going to see paired together early on, because not everyone's going to have Bloodbath builds. And even if you do have Bloodbath, like Yelly can break through Bloodbath. So that's not even a safe defense for you, right? Those are the 2 defenses that you're going to see a lot of in GVG. Let's see, we'll take that one. Sure. No, we don't want that one. We'll take the minus speed. What are the other 2 builds besides the Rev one? It's just... So the other one is the Codex one, and then there's also the Dark Moon one. But that's it. It's pretty much the same build, it's just the shell. Cleared Shadowflame, Hoyan Inferno, and Terramaton Inferno today. 5 down, 2 to go. Let's go. Like, that's how it is. I mean, we're getting to the end game. We're getting to the end game, slowly but surely. What are minimum skill ups for Holden and Terramaton Inferno? You don't need any skill ups for them. 111 is perfectly fine. What's the next banner leak? So... The next banner, they haven't said anything for it. We know that there's the dark guy coming, but I'm going to be honest. I'm pretty sure they're not going to do 2 LDs back to back. So it's likely some RGB units that we don't know about. Yo, can you steal his invincibility, please? Thank you. Steal it? Steal it? Doesn't steal it. Did 10 Inferno Rengoku runs yesterday for the Hyperlink Charter. It took me 60 tries. Oof. It do be like that sometimes. Yo, what is going on? Everything besides her S1 needs to be maxed. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, this Linglo run was doing okay, but now it's a little bit sus. Let's grab that. I mean, we're getting a lot of Hydra crystals at least. Am I using a shield percent on the Valerian? Yes, I am. Let's grab that. There we are. Yeah, for Valerian, like the artisan version, you go like my artisan, I'm pretty sure it's like HP, the shield one, and then it's also the one where it's like if she doesn't attack, she takes less damage. I can just check now. Yeah, whenever they apply healing or shielding, it increases the target's final damage. Yeah, and then this one's the shield and this one's HP. Artisan is like fine. Artisan's fine. I don't think the shell really matters for her at all, to be honest. I really don't think it matters. The fuck? What was that? I like ninjutsu'd over. What? I don't even know what I did. That was, I mean, that was all calculated. Apparently you couldn't do that. Obviously I knew that. It was all planned. Wait, you guys didn't know you could do that? Wild. All calculated. Always. I'm just acting surprised so you guys don't feel like too dumbfounded about it, you know? Because you know, like, I'm just built different like that, so. 16, so you're one off, of course. Every day, learning everything. Yeah, something new every day. I'll always learn something new every day. Sharon. Sure. One stage done. Go do it again, Yelly. Oh. Oh, true. I kill that one. Yeah, Swift Rush, Cure, Evo Guard is my Linglo. What cards did I choose? I actually forget. I wish you could check the cards from here. I just didn't choose the one where she dispels. That's the only one I didn't choose. Oh, she's dead. Bye-bye. I mean, this is the normal one, so we'll mold about her when we get to her on hard. I gotta love Rengo, man. You got the triple SR? Nah, you're plus 1P lattice now. Nice. Yeah, there's 5 different gaps between the next stage. Forgot about that. I'm happy for you. I'm not mad. I'm just happy for you. I'm jealous. That's wild, though. Now I need to build Giada. I mean, if... I forget what your account was, Shira. But Giada is definitely a route that's possible for people. It's just you need 8 lattices. You only got 1. You got 1 plus 1. Mia's good on where? She's okay in like Aurora. That's about it though. I need to reset this promotional unit. It's okay, like you can use her for PvP. Her S3 is actually really good for PvP as another cleave option. I don't know when I would be able to do a Tri-Sync, but it's something that I'd like to do. We'll see. I'm looking at like doing a couple of things so I can hopefully open up more time for myself. So I can do like the other stuff. Like I would really like to be able to update a new beginner's guide thing. Like if I want to get to the point where I can just like log in, do my PvE, and then log off very quickly as well. So I have the option to either do PvP, or I can also do the option of or I can also do the option of I really want to eventually do a free-to-play player, like new player guide for people who are coming in later because of all the changes, and like actually play an account. But I just would not be able to do that currently with how much like time you have to spend on playing this game. And after 6-starring the Kaz and Linglo, it became 100% in Doki Doki. Yeah, nice, nice. Yeah, they definitely help. They make it so much more consistent because the amount of tankiness that you get from 5-star to 6-star is crazy, bro. Like, most of them are your supports. Like, it's an extra, like, 2-3k base. That's crazy. If I don't have any perfect lattice set left, it's still worth building Giada. I forget what your roster is, Shiro, who you currently have invested. Giada is like a character that is better when you get her from the start. If you already have like Messiahs and stuff built, she's not really good. Like I wouldn't build her for me in my position. Like in that case, Shara, then yeah, she's probably worth it. You just have to build her over like a bit of time. You'll just have to be patient is all. If you're struggling with that. The Ramoka build for PvP, it's Law of Silence with Kenai. It's like Kenai Fury. I forget what I think. If Law of Silence can get Harvest, then it's probably Harvest, but I know it can get Fury. And then it's like Fury Edge. I'm a newbie. Can I ask if I should max Messiah or Yelly, or should I split it up? Yelly definitely wants 455. Messiah can get away with 115. You only have 3 gold lattice, then probably work towards Messiah first. He's closer for you. What does Little Silence do? So pretty much it gives you stealth at the start of battle. Which is like they can't target you, and you take less damage from AoE, and you also have like increased effect resistance at the start of the battle. And then every 2 turns, it will put you back into it. It's called Void. It's really good for characters like Ramolcha. It's really good for characters like Messiah, who don't rely on, yeah, it's Guiding Light, pretty much. It pretty much is going to allow you to do things on characters that don't rely on Revelation. So any DPS that doesn't rely on Revelation will likely want to be put onto Law of Silence. Unless they're looking for very specific sets. What's the best set in modules for Giada? It's Kenai, and then it's Fury, and then it's Fury Edge / Swift Raid. She's just a Revelation abuser. Yeah, union coins are fine. That's like what should be the standard. Dude, I don't know if I'm just getting unlucky in here or what's going on. I didn't change any gear. Let's just do this. Why am I getting pinged? So, I think I'm gonna finish this off really, and then I'm probably gonna call it for tonight. Let's just get through this. Can I only scale up Yelly S3 if I'm only using her for PvP? Yeah, if you're only using her for PvE, just her S3 is fine. Because you're just going to kill everyone with that anyway. The only problem is like you eventually want to do the S2. What time is it for me? It's 3:38 a.m. So I'm cooked. Man, my RNG here has been terrible with this guy. Oh? Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Let's finish this off here. Yeah. I mean, I try to, like, when my sleep schedule is normal, I usually go to sleep at, like, latest 12, but, I mean, I'm fine with it. Is there soft pity on SSR banner? On the non-rate up ones, yes. On rate ups, there is no soft pity. So like Yelly, there's no soft pity at all. This one and this one, there is. I mean, we're ready for whatever the next RGB is. Also, I gained so many gems from that. That's crazy. I gained like, I was at like 2K. I was thinking like I was going to have to top up. Damn. Let's do our one investigation. Pop that. Which three main stat? Crit rate, and then crit damage, and attack percent. But in Doki Doki, you go double attack instead of the one of the main crit damage. Let's go here. Then we need to switch out Messiah for you. Yeah. Okay. A lot of counterattacks. Healing percent on Linglo shell. My Linglo one is speed. Yeah, it's speed. The only thing here is like I could get these to be red, and then this one I would want it to be the one that increases damage instead. Because Linglo does attack quite a bit with her S1, so this is not as good as it could be. I'm not too picky about it. Let's go here, and then this should finish this off pretty much tomorrow. Wait, did I get 100 stability from that? I did. It's wild. What's your matrixes on Valerian? It's pure. It's actually just Hyper Plague. Oh my god, dude. The color. I'm probably just getting a billion darks, to be honest with you. It's just Wellspring and Hyper Plague. That's it. Where is it? Yeah, the time wave is just because this happens to be at HP percent. It doesn't really matter. This doesn't matter at all because you can't get HP percent here. So this literally just doesn't mean anything. So that's it for her. Alright, I'm probably gonna just leave this on AFK on my phone and call it. So I'm gonna end off here. Sorry for being late, guys. Thank you for showing up regardless. Tomorrow is a member only stream, so I won't be streaming outside of that. So if you want to be a part of that, you'll have to become a supporter. It only costs $1, so that's the minimum one. But yeah, anyway, guys, I'm probably gonna just call it here for tonight. And I'm gonna try to fix my sleep schedule after the member stream tomorrow. So hopefully it'll be good. See you guys in the next one. Yeah, good morning. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm gonna sleep for like an hour or two, and then I'm gonna wake up and go to work. So I'm cooked. Adios.